Yes, yet again, Travis Head is father of England, ladies and gentlemen. Second test, the quickest Ashes test in over 100 years. It was never in doubt. I wasn't nervous at all throughout that entire test match. We will recap the 2 days of action-packed test cricket that we saw over the weekend, and of course talk about that incredible knock from Travis Head. Mitch Starc also pretty handy with 10 for.
Was man of the match.
And we'll have a look at the upcoming second test next weekend in Brisbane. NFL Thanksgiving games about 9 hours away. Some massive ones. 6 weeks out from the end of the season, but already starting to get a bit of playoff feel about some of these games in the NFL. We'll then preview the weekend. Have a look at the NBA. The NBA Cup is nearing the playoffs. Liverpool in big trouble over in the EPL and the Champions League too. Plus, we'll have a look at some of the teams that have qualified for the World Cup in the past week and a half. We'll have a look back at UFC 322. And unfortunately, JDM not good enough on the day, but Makhachev is probably the best fighter alive right now. And we'll have a look back at the Las Vegas F1 going into Qatar over the weekend. This is an Aussie sports podcast. On The Esky is our name. If you're finding us for the first time, hit the subscribe button. We like our Aussie sport, but we also like our US and international sport. Check us out on social media, Instagram, Facebook, etc., etc. We like to start this show by shouting a beer to a person, team, even potentially a country.
Yes. Or a horse.
Or a horse, to commend outstanding effort in the sporting arena. Shauno, you're looking nice and festive on my left tonight.
Yes.
And a team close to your heart. They've gone and done something different, haven't they?
Yeah, well, going out to count some Cougars later on, but let's talk about the Brisbane Broncos. They're going to be my shout of beer or just talking point, because we're not going to talk much Australian football in this podcast, but they have announced a new design for their logo. So we've got a new logo and a new jersey. So a new look, essentially, Brisbane Broncos coming off their grand final win. And it's hard to say. The logo, on first look, not great. Skinny Bronco, gets squished into the shield a little bit. And I think initial feelings, bit yuck, but also it could be just because of change. So there is that too. So be interested to see how it plays out. Like I guess it'll be a nice looking shield on a jersey at some point, and it'll fit in there quite nicely. But I don't know, the full horse's head, as you will, versus in a shield. I'm not a huge fan at this stage.
It's just a change, I think, isn't it? You just give it a few months, give them a few wins early on. By magic round, you'll be fully on board.
It's also interesting. I guess the main big change in the colours is they've less maroon, more, I guess, their gold yellow colour being a bit more prominent than in the old logo. So, and whether that's because they've been playing in a bit more of that golden strip as well in a season, help sell some jerseys, etc.
I don't love it after winning for the first time in 20 years. You don't change it, do you? If it ain't broke, you don't fix it. We'll get to Liverpool in a second.
Yes,
but,
yes.
Definitely,
I would think so.
Definitely a different looking logo. Check it out for the Broncos. I think they dropped that yesterday, the new looking logo. And it's not too long since they won the whole thing. The boys will be back into pre-season.
I think most pre-seasons for both codes is already starting.
Yep.
So.
And plenty of time trial and Bronco tests and all the fun stuff that they have to do before Christmas. We go on hiatus now for a little bit in terms of rugby league and the AFL, which
did have their draft.
Yeah, a bunch of young men drafted last Wednesday.
Except if you're Port Adelaide.
Yeah, well, and a few back-to-back picks for different clubs. So it'll be interesting to see. I think Gold Coast starting to look pretty strong, I reckon. But we'll see how those high-end draft picks play out. A lot of them will be starting straight away next year.
Oh, yeah. What about you, Peppy?
Mate, I'm going a whole country. We do it occasionally here on the Esky. But if there's a country, if there's a country to shout, it's Curaçao. Okay. Population 155,000. Yep. Okay, it is the smallest nation to ever qualify for the World Cup by both population and area. Okay, tiny little island nation just off the coast of Venezuela. They play in CONCACAF, which is the North America, Central America, Caribbean conference. Look, a little bit of an asterisk, I guess, with the World Cup being in North America. So USA, Canada, Mexico, all automatic qualifiers, which left 3 other spots. But they still had to get through Jamaica and Trinidad and Tobago, who were in their group and have been to the World Cup before. And top of the group is automatic qualification. So scenes for the Curaçao football team. They're going to the 48-team World Cup next year. And I had a look at their list. Definitely no household names in that one. They do have one player in the Bundesliga at Borussia Dortmund. They have none in the top flight in England. There's a few sort of lower tier players in England, and most of them play in the Netherlands. So it'd be interesting to see if they're just making up the numbers in the World Cup, but that they're there, and for a country that's. Well, the whole population is half the size of the town that we live in here in Australia. It's pretty incredible stuff. So enjoy your beer courtesy of the Esky to the Curaçao football team.
Mop Peppy, what about them Wallabies?
Yeah, mate. A Wallabies season which started off really, really promising back in our winter time, knocking off South Africa in South Africa. I think a lot of rugby heads were pretty excited about the
corner finally turning.
Yeah, exactly right. They certainly were competitive against the British and Irish Lions down under back in the winter time, winning that dead rubber game 3, but certainly not played off the park. But it seems when we went over to the Northern Hemisphere, different kettle of fish over there. So they lost all 4 of their European games, including to Italy. So Italy have a couple of wins now against the Wallabies. And they did beat Japan on the way over there. But it was always going to be a tough ask, I think, against England, France and Ireland, who ranked really highly and pretty good teams. But that loss to Italy meant it was always going to be hard to find a win. And it's the first spring tour of Europe where we haven't won a game since the 1957-58 tour. So going back 67 years. That was before, the powerhouse of Italy was in playing rugby. And in that tour, they lost all their test matches. So it was Wales, Ireland, England, Scotland, France back in those days. A bit of a kick in the teeth, I think, for Australian rugby fans. And with the World Cup down under only a couple of years away, it's going to be interesting to watch that space next year. I think they've just announced a sort of Northern Hemisphere versus Southern Hemisphere tournament next year as a sort of lead up into the World Cup.
Cool.
We're less than 2 years away from the World Cup down under. So hoping for fans of Australian rugby and the Wallabies that they're able to turn things around in the next 2 years.
Yep, definitely.
Anything to add, rugby wise?
No, I don't think so. We could probably talk at length about 360 and what's happening there and a bit of signings, but I'm interested to wait until something massive happens. They need to sign a really big name and see what happens. But for now, it's all been...
We've seen a few guys walk out on their NRL contracts, and we spoke about that last pod with the likes of Pappenhausen and Lomax walking out of their contracts, but they haven't put pen to paper just yet for Rugby 360, so it will be interesting to see, but all reports are that's why you leave a good wicket in the NRL.
Potentially.
All right, mate. Let's talk about a sport where we are still king for now. Yes. Up 1-0 in the Ashes. Yeah,
that was loud.
the fastest Ashes Test match in over 100 years played out last Friday, Saturday over at Optus Stadium in Perth. 1890 was the last time these two teams met, and it was sorted out quicker than what it was. And I don't think it was any issues with the deck, really.
No, well, I saw today the ICC gave it a rating of very good, which is almost as high as you can get. So, yeah, it's not like those pitches that the Indian South African guys are playing on.
Yeah, the first one in India was a bit how you going. So deck looked fast. It looked a little green early on, but there wasn't heaps of seam. It was really just good bowling from both teams, and maybe some questionable decisions with the bat, which always leads us to the, is T20 cricket ruining Test cricket?
Etc. The old heads definitely believe so.
Certainly in the first innings for both teams, a few questionable decisions, I think. But let's go back to the start. So England made 172 off just 32 overs. Stark, first over. Wicket. He's so good at it. It's the 25th time in Test cricket he's got a wicket with the first in the first over, and he did it in both innings. So Zach Crawley, I don't know how much pressure is mounting on him. The bloke averages 31 and has played 60 tests. So you can imagine if he was an Aussie, how our media would be.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the whole reason he was picked in the squad was because he's meant to play Australian conditions really well. So far, no return on that investment. So,
No.
yeah, so you're definitely right. There'll be some interesting questions, but they're not playing any of the warm-up games. I think there's a ping pong test meant to be starting now-ish as a play-in, but no one from the starting 11 playing in that.
Yeah,
so.
but it's a tour match.
Yeah, there's a tour match. Yeah. But whether you want to get some...
In our town, down Marnica Oval, go check that out if you're in Canberra, the Prime Minister's 11. But yeah, I don't think many of the big names will be playing.
No, there's none.
From an England
they've
perspective.
definitely said they're not participating. So it'll be mostly the Lions guys. But, there's some questions about how you got a people test coming up. Maybe you should get some confidence
Bit
here.
of batting practice.
Bit of batting
potentially.
practice, exactly. Against a good-looking... Is it Australia A playing that, or is it Australia PM's 11, which is still a quality squad? So
starts Saturday. It's just a 2-day pink ball test, which, hey, maybe they just need 2 days. You might see a result on the weekend here in Canberra. Let's go back to the start of that first innings. So, Stark gets Crawley first over. Aussies losing their minds when England are 3 for 39 in the ninth over. Stark also got Duckett for 22, and Joe Root had a quacker in the first innings. And there's going to be rhetoric this whole series about, he's an excellent batsman. No one is arguing that, but still unproven in Australia. So be interesting to see how that all pans out once Sydney's all done and dusted in a month and a half.
Yep. So one thing I wanted to cover off was they did settle after that, and Boland was a bit wayward in this first innings. He did ride the ship in the second.
Yeah,
but
big time.
Just a note for later conversations about who we pick as bowlers going into the next test, that he was a little bit wayward in that first innings.
Well, by all reports, Cummins should be right in a week's time, and it's not looking good for Hazelwood. They're saying potentially the whole series. Well,
I've seen one report of that, and then I saw the other report like a day later where he's been training and he looks fine, so he's been bowling. So I guess
games, mate. Mind games.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm not 100% sure where he is, but I guess we'll talk more about the squad picks once we get through our recap.
Yeah, it's a weird one with Hazelwood, but because, Hammy initially cleared.
Hammy and tall blokes.
And then out, and now who knows? So I don't know if the Australian medical team is keeping their cards close to their chest, but we'll chat about the possible selections for the second test in about 20 minutes' time. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so England did right the ship a little bit. Okay, so they were 4 for 94 and then 5 for 115, 6 for 160. Yep. So Harry Brook, he looked very dangerous, didn't he? With his 52, I was watching that thinking this guy could be a real problem this summer.
Yep, him and Ollie Pope looks pretty good.
Yep.
Then I did like what I saw from Jamie Smith as he came out. He's
good, dude. Yeah,
he looks like he
averages 50, batting 7. Mm-hmm. So just a quick fire 33 in that one, but yeah, he could definitely be a problem.
And then the bowlers just threw the wickets away essentially. So
yeah, interesting that when you're struggling and you still go out there and everyone's just trying to play baseball and hit everything to the ropes, and England end up losing 5 for 12, I think it was 6 for 12 maybe. No, 5 for 12.
I can't remember who said the quote, and I can't remember the exact quote, but it was like, all baseball, no brains, or something like that, to that effect. So, yeah.
There was a few in that one, and it's definitely in the second innings from the Poms as well, where, they're trying to put the pressure back on the bowler.
Yeah, you got to show some sort of aggression, yes.
But I think definitely the old heads would say maybe just try and dig in and see off the rock a little bit when wickets start.
Especially in that second innings where they got 3 trying to play
on the up,
trying to play forward drives and
just snicking up,
and no real feet movement and just throwing the bat really far out.
And they weren't half volleys.
Yeah,
they just tried to drive on the up and snicked up, and we'll get to the second innings in a second. But interesting. The Baz ball is still. They're still sort of persisting with that style of Test cricket.
Having said that, the Aussies didn't do very well in comparison in their first.
No, Mitch Stark 7 for 58, incredible spell from him, and Doggett also not too bad on debut in the first innings, 2 for 27. Enter the Aussies, only halfway through the first day because England only batted for 33 overs, and it was a hard slog out there at the top of the order. Whether it'll go second ball just
Well, you got to mention the fact that they didn't have their usual opener because he didn't field enough because the game went too quick.
Well, we got too many wickets too quick.
Exactly.
They're screaming, get Aussie back out there. You have to be on the field, I think, for 10 minutes if you want to go open the batting. Usman getting some treatment for his back, and we've got it's the elephant in the room, I think, in terms of media speculation. Played 18 the day before a test match. Played pretty well. Got 41 points and won the local comp, apparently, Aussie. So,
well, I think the official report is he played Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday. And Thursday was the Pro-Am. I can't remember whether it was Mayo, but reports he won that Pro-Am. So, there was that. Yes, there's a lot of golf leading up to that. Had the back spasms and, having seen Tiger Woods pre-divorce crash, having lots of back problems, though maybe Shag is back.
you're saying Usman doesn't have that?
I'm pretty sure Uzi's not like that. So, I could definitely see the correlation where, you put a lot of stress and a lot of work through your back leading into an Ashes game kind of seems, not great.
I suppose the counter to that would be Starkey was also playing, and he's a fast bowler, and also isn't a spring chicken, and did just fine.
True, but 38, 35.
You're saying that 3 years.
It's wear and tear. It's wear and tear.
Fall off a cliff. It's an interesting one, isn't it? Because we see it with backs. Sometimes it doesn't take a whole lot to set off a back spasm, and once they start spasming, it can be really, really difficult. Yeah, exactly. And obviously struggled for the whole 48 hours. Yep. But it wasn't able...
Well, it got worse. Fielding in the second innings, he barely was on the field. And they basically in that second innings for Australia were going to bat without him until they were going to need him. So he was probably going to bat 7.
And then poor old Jake Weatherald and Marnus gets
elevated.
I wonder if Aussie would have taken the first ball against Jofra.
Exactly.
Who knows?
I feel for Weatherald a little bit because, you've been training or where you think you're going to start with Usman, and then last minute they're changing it all up, and then you're facing the first ball, and you're probably shitting bricks, especially with Archer rolling in. You're like, and he's bowling almost at 150 at that point. So you'd be disappointed.
Watching it live, I thought this is pitched outside leg. He's going to be fine, and then it was
it straightened way more than you would have thought.
Yeah, and it just seemed like it grabbed enough of the leg stump in terms of its where it pitched, and they actually reviewed it and got overturned on review. Yeah, Jake Weatherald looked okay in the second innings.
Much more comfortable, I'd say.
Obviously, just had to play a supporting role in that. But I did want to say he's in some pretty good company as well for guys that have had quick ducks on debut opening the batting. David Warner, his first ever test match against New Zealand 2011, faced 3 balls for his duck.
Yep.
And Philip Hughes, may rest in peace. And you can only imagine what his career would have been like if what happened didn't happen.
As of today, I think it's 3rd year anniversary today.
For
Phil Hughes, the 27th November.
10? 11?
And I can't remember what year it was.
I think it was 10 years last year. I think it's 2014. Yeah. 2014. So he only faced 4 balls and then went on in that same tour, I think, to score back-to-back hundreds against South Africa. Yep. So, look, it's just the first innings. Hopefully the first innings of a fair few for him in his test career.
Looks more comfortable in the second.
Certainly.
And it helped when, I guess, the man on the other end was being a bit more aggressive. And...
take the pressure off?
Yeah.
I think Trav said to him when he went out there, no, I'm facing this first ball. I've been elevated. Let me do it. And, in the second innings, they took a little while to get their eye in. And then once they did, it was... Yeah.
Jumping around a little bit, we might save more conversation about opening batsmen in a minute.
Sounds good.
So I think we've got through, we're in Australia's innings. Didn't too much. A bit of...
just battling, really.
Minus and a little bit of solidifying there in the middle there with Head, Green and Kerry.
Yep. But Marnus and Smudge were playing the opposite of batters ball. They were playing
really slow.
It's hard out here. Let's try and survive. Yep. And to the English bowling attack's credit, they did not put a foot wrong in that first innings. They were just line and length.
The pace was excellent too.
2 guys bowling 150 plus and 2 guys that can hit 140 plus. Obviously, a bit made out of the decision to leave Shoaib Bashir out there off spinner and play the 4 quicks and look in retrospect.
2 days test.
Certainly the right decision from a selection point, and you'd imagine they'll do the same thing next week in Brisbane. Marnus, Smudge battled, but they go when we're 3 for 30, you're thinking, oh shit, where are we going to get runs from? Few starts through the middle order, and late on day one, I was a little frustrated, I think, with some of the wickets. I thought Trav kind of threw his wicket away.
I think you said Trav, Kerry and Stark.
I think I lined up. Yeah, I lined up three in the text, and I just said you can't be doing that end of day one. And look, it's not Mitchell Stark's job to go in there and save,
score a ton.
save the day. But I also thought, some of the shot selection, given 15, 16, 17 wickets are falling, like just try and get through till tomorrow. But alas, we get scheduled for 132. We're 40 runs behind. That was the morning of day two because 19 fell on the first day. And what about Ben Stokes coming in and cleaning up the tail? 5 for 23. It's almost like you've seen off the 4 high-end quicks and then not that Stokes didn't bowl poorly. I just felt like he looked like the least dangerous out of all these bowlers.
Which was probably the case going back to throwing the wickets away. They
thought we need to score here because Josh was going to be coming back.
Exactly, and they thought, maybe we can throw the bat at these ones a bit more, and it turned into wickets.
So 5 for 23 for Stokes, 3 for 45 for Cast, 2 for 11 for Joffre, just 9 overs. Full credit to the Poms and their bowling display in the first innings.
Well, you look at their economy there.
We could score.
Yeah,
we could score. How many? We had.
They were on top that entire.
We faced 45 overs, so we went a tick under 3. So a little bit more sort of conventional sort of test match scoring, but ended up 40 runs behind.
Yep.
Great start again. So Stark. Maybe the wicket of the match with that caught and bowled in the first over. Full stretch to his left. I was worried when they were showing it. Was the ball under, touching the ground? We've seen that with Stark in the outfield before. I think there was quite clearly some pinky and some ring finger underneath there. And Zach Crawley went packing for a pair. So a bit of pressure going to be building on him.
You got your... Oh, actually, no, that's from the Aussies as well.
Say again?
The 2,800 test matches, 148 years. This is the first time the score has been 1-0 in each of the first 3 innings of a match.
Yeah, the first time ever that they've had 0 run partnership for the opening for the first 3 opening partnerships. Yeah, incredible, really.
Yeah, bit of a wild test, honestly.
Duckett and Pope get starts, 33 for Pope, 28 for Duckett.
Yeah, we're getting a little bit worried that they were getting settled in there. And the lead starting to...
The way the test had played out, you kind of thought if they have a 250-run lead, they're winning this. If they're 300 plus, we're not going to have a chance. In hindsight, we could have...
Yeah, we probably could. Exactly.
But at that stage in the test match, you really thought, geez, we can't...
Yeah, you don't want to run.
You can't let them get too far ahead. And then... You mentioned Scotty B in the first innings looking pretty ordinary. He was really the guy that put Australia on his back in that middle order. And when Pope, Brook, and then Stark also helping out with Root and Stokes, when they all went in quick succession, I think they lost 3 for 6, and that was when the classic Stuart Broad optics in the commentary box next to Haydo. He's probably thinking, "Fuck, will this bloke shut up?" Haydo's pumped up, and Broady watching an absolute capitulation in the middle order.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's the danger with England, right? We haven't seen it from Crawley. Duckett, we've seen it occasionally. Pope's still a little bit unproven, but
I think for the Aussies, if you Root, Brook and Stokes are getting 10 between the 3 of them, you're happy.
You're killing it. Yeah, the danger for us is certainly their middle order, and then when you see them all go packing cheaply, that's when momentum was starting to swing, and you start to think, hang on, we've got a good chance here. A little bit of tail wag from Gus Atkinson and Bryden Cass. They were swinging the bat, and then England end up with 164, 4 for 33 for Scotty Boland, 3 for 55 for Mitchie Stark. So Kratz gets his 10 for and 3 for 51 for Brendan Doggett. So he gets 5 on debut. So a really good display there from the Aussie Quicks, and Nathan Lyon not needed.
Yep. He bowled 12, faced 21. So
yeah, I think I'm just scrolling up to the first. He bowled 2 overs, none for 10 in the first over. Not really required. That's interesting from a selection standpoint, leading into
a 2-day test though.
into a pink ball. Yeah, I think it's probably different if it's getting to day 4 and there's a few cracks starting to.
He's in that team for when we get to day 4 and 5, and But where Jess Cricket's going at the moment, he's not needed as much as often as he was in the past.
Definitely the dude that did nothing on the group assignment and still got an A.
Yes.
Enter Travis Head, Jake Weatherald. Head up the order in place of Marnus going up. Usman's back.
In place of Usman, putting Marnus back in his natural spot, let's say.
And they saw out the first sort of 5 overs and then started scoring well, was driving well, was certainly playing off the back foot incredibly well. And then
confident.
By about the 10th over, was just starting to back away and launch.
I think he was, what was the stat? He was 3 for 14 or was he 5 for 14? Something like that. Yeah. That's where he got to. And then, it was 3 for 14. He scored 97 off the next 55.
Yeah, so he ended up, his 100 come off 69 balls. Yep. Which is the equal third by an Aussie ever. So only Gilchrist and Jack Gregory have gone quicker. The first, like you said, 14, 15 balls wasn't going ham. Yeah. So once he started middling them, it was great viewing for Aussies, and the Poms were thinking, oh no, here we go again, kind of thing. Some of the shots.
Well, we turned from the conversation of we're going to bat for a while to this game's going to be done today.
We're going to win in 2 days. Yeah. I think by the time he was at about 60, you kind of had that feeling like,
exactly.
This is going to be done.
Yeah.
Some of the shots were incredible. They kept bowling short to him. I don't like. It seems to be the sort of modern test tactics of if a bowler, if a
put him on the fence and then bowl short.
Yeah, and start bowling short, and then he was just uppercutting blokes over the keeper and over slip for 6, and pulling guys for 6, and then backing away and hitting you.
We've talked about this in the past. It's the play for mistakes essentially. Is like you're hoping that guy makes mistakes, mishit something, and you drain it down your throat. But when you're on, like was this, you're fishing for a mistake that may not come, and this is the result.
I think they hit the panic button a little bit too early.
I 100% agree.
You look at how disciplined they were in the first innings, and how much Marn and Smudge had to labour when they were just bowling line and length fast.
They should have been more, confident in the way they played originally. They got them out for 132. They just, I think they panicked. You're 100% right. The head was just hitting them well, and they just panicked, and they just wanted to get out of there, get to the pub.
It got to a point where it was like they literally looked like they wanted to have the beer that night. But all credit to Travis Head, one of the all-time Test match innings ever. And when it comes down to Ashes Test matches and flipping a game, I think this is maybe our Stokes Headingley kind of moment. Where he turned that Test match around himself and turned that series around. Really, we had them on the ropes at Headingley in 2019, and Ben Stokes still gives Aussie cricket fans flashbacks of that, and I think it'll be the vice versa now for Trav Ball. Really breaking Barmy Army hearts for many years to come, because that was one of the all-time knocks.
Yep.
123 off 83 finished with, wasn't able to be out there for the winning runs. Smudger hit the winning runs, and credit to Marnus as well for a bloke who's been out of the Test team, and we've seen all summer how well he's been going for Queensland, and really
looks like he's in form.
Yeah, he banged the door down. He couldn't leave him out really based off his shield and white ball form leading into the first Test. Really handy 51 of 49. He was starting to seem like beach balls too.
Yep. Yeah. Amazing what happens when you have a guy that hits well and a bit aggressive at the top. And,
at the other end,
and I guess
frees you up.
Yeah, he got to see off the first 10 or so overs before he came out in place of Weatherald. So. Yeah,
Weatherald, it was 75-run partnership in a game where there'd been 3 for naught, and they made it to the 12th over. So completely flipped the script on the rest of the game. You also got to think it's a day 2 deck. It might have been the best batting conditions that there was in the Test match. Flattened out just that little bit. Not that there was landmines in it to start off with, but they once Head got going, you just got the feeling, this is going to be done tonight.
He's on.
Yeah,
feeling frisky.
Nothing really to report home for the Poms. Most of them were going 6 and over or more. Brighton Cast did finish with 2 for 44 off just 5 overs, and 1-0 Australia.
Yep. Got to get some stats there. I think there's a lot of interesting stuff. So that a 1:05 local time, day 2, England lead by 105 with 9 wickets in hand, and then just under 5 hours later on day 2, Australia won the Test by 8 wickets. Such a wild kind of turnaround, and I guess it's a direct reflection of what we talked about. Baz Ball threw the wickets away, and then Trav came out and absolutely dominated it. So I'll run through a whole bunch of interesting stats. So fastest century in Baz Ball was Johnny Barcer's 77 ball 100 against New Zealand in 2022. So
that surprises me. Yeah. Given how aggressive they've been playing, obviously they would have scored plenty of hundreds at a run of ball, but they haven't gone the really insane, sub 75 ball 100.
Yeah. So they got the shot there. Travis Head smacked 6900 against England's fastest bowling attack in a generation. Smith, as a standing captain, remains undefeated. Scotty Boland has 53 test wickets on Australian soil, an average of 13.47. So even though I said the first innings weren't great, his second innings statistics made up for it.
He's fine for Brisbane, provided Cummins / Hazelwood is not playing.
Yeah. We'll get to that conversation. England's 2 innings in Perth total, 105 deliveries. The fastest
405.
405, sorry. The fastest they've been bowled out twice in a test match since 1904. We mentioned the line bowled 12, faced 21. But interesting, Cricket Australia lost about $3 million on ticket revenue for 3 days of missed cricket, which is interesting after they posted an almost $12 million loss last financial year.
How does that happen?
I think because they toured more outside of Australia last year. And I guess this is the year they come back and play all the games in Australia. So the idea is you make up your money. This is your money year.
Right.
But having quick tests don't help with the ticket revenue, especially day 3.
Sure.
So they'll probably be hoping for a long test out of their Gabba to make up some coin.
I wonder the summers as well when we don't play England or India, if just the general intrigue
we got
is way
Pakistan
down.
and
West Indies
next year
for a test.
Yeah. But having said that, 425 million people watched day 1, so one of their best ratings.
425 worldwide or in
Australia, I think, was the number.
4.25.
4.25 million, yes.
They're doing well at 425.
yeah, I said 4.25 million people watched day 1 from Australia, so that's good. And, of course, the fastest chase of 200 plus in Test history.
Crazy.
So, yeah.
A little bit more than a T20 in that fourth innings. I also saw a good stat, the total balls faced that you mentioned there.
Yep.
From
405.
Yeah, 405. Alistair Cook, when he scored his double ton back 12 years ago, faced 450 odd.
Yes.
Yeah, so to lose 20 wickets when
it's very, very
you used to have an opener that could face that many
days.
rocks himself is insane. I might actually find the exact stat because that one was mind-boggling, and it's not that long ago. Yes, cricket was different in those days. 428, not quite 450. 428 is what Cook faced.
Faced more, though, I think is the point.
Yeah, that's right. 20-odd balls more and didn't get out 20 times. So... yeah, crazy test match. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. It's certainly the way that test match cricket has headed over the last few years.
We've seen a lot of 3-day tests.
3-day tests.
2-day tests is wild.
Yeah.
But, they just threw way too many wickets and played England plays a very fast-paced style of game, and it hurt them in this one.
Trav ball, greater than sign, baseball. I think that's the summary. And also... credit to Mitchell Stark, who was man of the match as well.
Yes, taking 10. Very good.
Second test.
So I guess we've got to talk about who's going to be sticks, who's going to be bowlers. And I guess the main position we're going to talk about is the openers. So Usman dealing with his back spasms. And I hate to say it, but I think it might be done. I think the whole storyline isn't great for him.
No.
Add the fact that he hasn't scored a century in 2 years.
Yes.
And hasn't been scoring very well. Mm-hmm. I think the fact they've been looking for an open replacement for him for so long really doesn't lead well into him. Mm-hmm. And, of course, we talked about the whole golf shenanigans. So, I think he doesn't get picked.
I think it's pending fitness. It would be a horrible way for him if his back is no good in a week's time and then he doesn't get picked and then, someone comes in and
someone already did come in.
Scores well. Well, that's right. A lot of people are just saying, well, just open with head and bring Bo Webster back in at 6.
Yeah, that's definitely an option. And I think I'm going to talk about the conspiracy of Travis Head because it was pretty interesting, his quote in the post-match. He was asked, when did you decide to be opener? And he said, 2 years ago. And if you do the math on that, I'm pretty sure 2023 they toured India and David Warner was either having a kid or injured, and he opened. Mm-hmm. And then we had and he did really pretty well in that. And then from that, you had all the stories about, he doesn't want to open, he wants to bat at 5, it's not his go. But I wonder if that's based on that comment or bullshit. And it was all storylines to cover some retiring veterans that maybe wanted to keep their spots.
Potentially.
Because I think we've all talked about it. Travis Head looks like a ready-made replacement for David Warner. And I kind of think for an opener, we spent the last 18 months, 12 months looking for a replacement. Trying to find a replacement. Mm-hmm. And
we've had Constas, we've had McSweeney.
Yeah.
Now Weatherall.
And I think you want out of your openers, you want a rock and you want the guy that's aggressive. So, David Warner, historically, the aggressive one. But I don't think, maybe outside of some Sam Constance shenanigans, there haven't really been an aggressive type opener there. Most of them be like, let's just get in and play well. And I think Weatherald is more of a I'm going to say he's more a rock type player than he's an aggressive type player in the comparison of David Warner and, say, Travis Head.
Compared to Head,
Yeah. So I think Head makes so much sense just to move him up, commit to it. It sounds like he's committed to it. I think those previous stories might be bullshit, and he's keen to do it, and he shows he's got the capability. I think long term you probably want Weatherall to be your other one. And sorry, Aussie, you're a bit old and you're a bit injured now. And that's kind of where he goes. And then you, like you said, I saw a report today, said Marsh might be in line for a call-up again.
Heard that, Mitch Marsh.
As that 6.
Matt Renshaw scoring runs for fun in the Shield.
Well, Josh English just scored a ton in the Kick Australia 11 as well. So the 6 spot opens up a lot more opportunities.
Yep. And the domestic cricket this summer,
or 5, depending on
has completely changed the script. Because remember last year we're kind of like, no one's really banging the door down other than Cam Bancroft.
Yeah,
and we're like,
for openers though.
And we're like, well,
I think it's why, like,
what's happening? And now it's like, potentially we've just listed 4 guys there that.
But I think 5 and 6 is a different conversation though.
Yeah.
Like you want your first 4 are your big names that you're trying to. They hopefully going to score most of your runs, and then you've got those guys that come kind of fill in that middle bit there. And yeah, I think all of those. Probably like Marshall Webster, if you want them more as a 6 and then do more bowling and maybe take that off Green if you don't want it. Or if you think Josh English makes more sense, or Renshaw is like a 5 and they use your Travis Head replacement. Yeah. So I feel like, unfortunately, Aussie, with all the storyline and maybe his recent form, that makes too much sense to slide one of those blokes into 5 or 6.
I wonder how much of this decision lies completely with Travis Head and what he wants to do.
Yeah, well, I think
because if he wants to open, then it probably doesn't bode well for Usman, does it?
Yeah, but I would say he's also too nice of a bloke and say, well, if Aussie wants to finish his...
I don't want to fuck my mate's career.
Exactly. Like, if this is the end of his career, like we think this is Usman's last summer, then he's probably not going to stand in the way and like, I'm happy to wait 4 more games and I'll do that after he retires. But Cricket Australia also... I think has leaned more on their veterans and happy to see the storylines off.
Yep.
Did that for David Warner after a long period of struggling. But it's an Ashes series, and I just think on paper it just looks better with Travis Head in opener, and then you slide in one of these other guys that are in recent form.
Yes. Off the back of that innings. And I reckon I had about 5 group chats all simultaneously saying the same thing. We've seen enough. Heads out. Heads opening. I think
I said it to you after he scored 40. I was like, I've seen enough.
I've seen enough.
We make him the opener. I don't know why. We've spent the last 18 months sticking around with Smith and Marnus and Quinton. I was like, it should have just been Travis Head from India. Like, he was good in India.
Yeah.
I don't know why they didn't commit to it.
Does it in white ball cricket.
Yeah, I think it was probably more because they had Warner and Usman there and they're kind of in the back end of their career. Like, they've held on to them too long. It just has to be Head. Yeah.
Other than a sort of 10 overs of insanity on Boxing Day from Sam Constas, we haven't seen that at the top of the order really for 18 months.
Agree.
Who'd want to be a selector? Everyone wants to throw some names in the rings, us included. But I don't know if I'd want to tap in Usman on the shoulder as well.
We know that we've talked about the spotlight. It moves around, and you have one bad game, and you're in the spotlight. And Usman unfortunately had a really bad game, really bad storyline, and probably out of form. So if that's 3 strikes for you, it might be too much.
I will say I will think what I've seen historically, and if he is fit, I think the Australian selectors will stay with the experience at the top of the order.
I tend to agree, and I reckon he won't score a whole lot, and everyone
the door pressure will be mounting, leading to say Boxing Day.
Hopefully, if he opens, he can score a ton, and
that'd be nice. Shut everyone up.
Exactly. He's due. He needs one.
So we touched before on Josh Hazlewood. A very strange one in that hamstring, him and Sean Abbott in the same day of the Sheffield Shield a couple of weeks ago. Both go for scans. Abbott gets ruled out. Hazlewood cleared that day. Was the initial report.
Yeah. It's a bit of old man tightness.
Then a couple of days later, new report, Hazelwood
Could miss the whole Ashes.
Well, that was at that stage was just out for Perth.
Oh, Perth, yep.
And then the reports coming out that
Post game.
could miss the whole Ashes.
Could miss the whole Ashes. And then I saw like a day or two ago, he's back training and it was like they're putting in sessions and trying to get him ready. So, again, I don't know.
Hamstring is risk versus reward, right? Because recurrence is so high. We see it a lot in the field sports that we watch in the winter time, and obviously the older guys struggle a little bit more with soft tissue. We saw 3 Brisbane Broncos missing time towards the end of the rugby league season. Only 2 of them were in their 30s, but the older you are in soft tissue and recurrence, all bad.
Yeah, especially the tall, lanky men as well.
Yeah.
Having said that, Cummins is the other conversation.
He seemed like he was.
Yeah, he was talking.
He's preparing.
He was
play.
on commentary and basically said, "Yeah, I'll be right to go." Yep. So he's put in the sessions. His back's fine, so he'll likely slide straight back in.
And the question is that for Brendan Doggett or is it potentially for Nathan Lyon?
Well, I think that's then the last part of that question is if Hazelwood and Cummins are probably both good.
Oh,
then Doggett. I think Doggett comes out, but then. Then you have that conversation about...
Do we play 4 quicks?
Do we need a spinner that's going to bowl 2 overs? Ask the bat more. Maybe one of his other blokes there. We take 3. We take Webster and Green and we take 3...
well, you've got part-timers, right? They can bowl spin. Yeah. You know, especially if
Travis Head.
The magic finger in the...
Marnus can bowl. Smith can throw some down. So if they come to... have those options.
And if there's any test to do at a pink ball test, is probably the one.
4 quicks there, or if they've got Green and Webster in there, they could go 3 quicks and add an extra stick. Oh no, they're not going to do it. They're not going to do it. But
I wouldn't say it would back carry at 8.
Yeah, throw an Inglis in there as an extra one. Just for,
if you got Stark and Cummins, and
if you probably
could get
Green in there. I don't think. Again, if you got these guys coming off injury, you probably want to protect them a little bit. I doubt it.
So, yeah.
But I think I
think you're asking if you only pick 3 frontline quicks, given the test match that we just watched. I think you're asking for trouble.
Yeah. But if they're thinking of Mitch and they've got Green in the team, Marsh that is, and those guys we can definitely add to that load. So again, maybe, but I think you pick your best. So I think if Hazelwood and Cummins are good, they're going to come in. And then you just have the think. I think they've basically said they'll look at the conditions. So if you get another green-looking monster up there and it's pink ball, as Nathan Lyon, you might have to have a rest for this one.
Which they have done recently as well. And then,
especially in the 3-day test era.
Yeah, that's right. And then when we come into potentially different looking wickets, I don't think Nathan Lyon's missing out Boxing Day and Sydney by any stretch. And even if they did make the call to a medium here, that would be a big call, given what we've seen historically. But yeah, there's plenty of options. It's always fun talking about the Australian cricket team, and especially this summer, coming off a win like that, do you even change it? I think the first question is going to be Usman and his fitness, and then if he's unfit, the question is who comes in and where does Travis Head bat? We could see Webster come back in, like you said. We could see Josh Inglis, Mitch Marsh, Matt Renshaw, plenty of names that could potentially come in. And then from a bowling perspective, do we want 4 quicks? Or do we want Nathan Lyon, 3 frontline quicks, and Cam Green, or potentially Bo Webster rolling the arm over?
So we spent the last 20 minutes talking about it. It sells papers, gets clicks, but really, what's going to happen? There's Cummins will come in for Doggett, and that's it.
Yeah, straight swap. But that's probably the most likely option. But we'll
just run it back.
About this time next week, we will know. We should touch on it. We've obviously been so enthralled with the start of a big Ashes series down under, but South Africa have just pumped India in India. So the World Test champions, I was like, they only beat us once. The World Test champions, are they the best Test team? They've done what we've really failed to do and go and dominantly win in India, albeit only a 2 Test series. I would have loved to have seen this be 3 or 4. And my own personal bias against white ball cricket aside, I feel like that series deserved maybe a 3rd or 4th. And there's a few things at play here. I think, South Africa are very, very good. I think Marco Jansen is incredible. Got 6 for and scored 90 batting 9. So he's unreal. And is there a bit of a hangover for the Indians in the post-Sharma, Kohli era? Pretty hard to replace those 2.
Yeah, well, they've got all the young fellas in at the moment now, so they've got to cement themselves. But I think there's still plenty of name value in that top order.
Yeah, Dryswell, we saw what he did down under last summer. KL Rahul still got a lot of experience. That middle order of Pant and Jadeja is incredible. Bumrah played in this and was unreal.
Still plenty of guys with a lot of good quality Test cricket under the belt in that squad.
I suppose there's got to be some question marks around Sai Sudhasan and Dhruv Jurel, and it's a bit of pressure building there because we definitely know that India has plenty of top order batting depth.
No Shubman in that one.
So it'll be interesting to see how they go moving forward. They now go into a bunch of white ball cricket, which I don't particularly care for. But yeah, certainly credit to the South Africans. Bumrah was doing Bumrah stuff. He bowled 32 overs, 2 for 75, 10 maidens in the first innings. And we've got to give credit as well to the young South African in the middle order there, Senuran Muthusamy, who scored 109. South Africa were scoring runs, but they weren't hammering India until the seventh wicket, where they made close to 100 for the seventh wicket, and then for the eighth wicket, when it was Muthusamy and Janssen, they made 97-run ninth wicket partnership. And 489 anywhere in the world these days is
a good score.
Is good, let alone in India. We were talking a little bit pre-show. The place, and forgive me, Indian fans, for butchering the name, Guwahati, I'm going to go with. Never played a test match up there before. It's sort of in the northeast of the country, sort of between Bangladesh and the Himalayas. And I think they have that red clay, more conducive to batting than other places in India. But yeah, massive effort. They had a 280-run lead after the first innings, and I think the winning margin was the biggest single innings victory by a team in India ever. So they won by 408 runs there, and yeah, South Africa confirmed good at cricket.
Good, yes.
World Test champions potentially for a reason. Get at us in the comments, Indian fans, if you have any suggestions as to how your best 11 should be looking in the post Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli era. Talk some American football.
Yes, let's go to our American sports.
Oh! He broke his ankles!
The Thanksgiving games are about 8 hours away. We have 3 back-to-back tomorrow morning, our time, Thursday night over there. Mm-hmm. And historically, that in recent years, there's been a few, poo-poo Thanksgivings where, it's cool to get 3 games on a Thursday night, but they haven't been that important in the scope of the season. We've got some red-hot games today.
Oh, it's a tight old season, that's for sure.
First one, Green Bay at Detroit. My Packers taking on the Detroit Lions. Week 1, the Packers made light work of the Lions. And the Lions have looked a little hot and cold since then. They're certainly good on the offensive side of the ball. There's no question marks around that. 1,000 yards of offense in that game against the Giants.
Gibbs is good.
On the weekend. Yeah, Jameer Gibbs, where do you rate him? I think the season Jonathan Taylor's having, you probably got to have JT 1.
Yep.
Gibbs,
I think
Gibbs CMC, he's a top 3 running back, sure.
Yeah, I think statistically he and JT are similar in all categories besides touchdowns. So he for rushing attempts, rushing yards, and
that's this season.
This season, yeah,
because Jameer Gibbs is going to break Barry Sanders' record for most touchdowns before turning 24. Which is crazy, and he's
in a timeshare. So
in a timeshare and averaging 6.1 yards a carry too as well. So it's not like they're just giving it to him on the goal line. He's not that type of back, to be fair. So has that game-breaking speed where it's pretty rare to look miles faster than anyone else in the NFL, and there's a few players that do that. Certainly go back to Tyreek Hill at a different position a few years ago. Jameer Gibbs does that from the running back position. Yeah,
definitely. The rare ability to make a break and to house
them
regularly. Is a elite talent with elite
walk-off touchdowns as well.
Yep.
Yeah, he's a talent, that's for sure. Does give me a bit of nerves tomorrow. Packers defense has been really, really good.
Offense
hit and miss.
I think the Tucker Kraft injury hurt them more than people expect.
He was statistically the best tight end in the league when he did his ACL.
Yep. But I think their scheme and the offense they want to run really revolves around having a strong tight end.
Yes.
Makes it a little bit difficult for them.
Yeah, Luke Musgrave has been sufficient filling in, but certainly hasn't been Tucker Kraft.
No.
We did see no Josh Jacobs last week.
Yeah,
so
do you know if he's playing? Do you have an update?
I don't know. I think it's going to be a game time decision. I'll be setting the alarm early, certainly from a fantasy perspective. Do have his handcuff in a couple of leagues. Emmanuel Wilson, who actually
Rode your bench last week.
in that league, yes, he won me another one.
Okay.
I started in our league. I started Javonte Williams over him, which in hindsight was a silly idea, but undrafted. Free agent, just filling in the shoes of Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs actually hasn't had 100 ground yards this season. He's been very consistent with scoring touchdowns. Emmanuel Wilson had over 100 on the ground and two rushing touchdowns. So that'll be a game time decision. And don't be surprised if Jacobs does play if they share the carries. When I seen that Josh Jacobs mechanism, pushed out of bounds, fell on bent knee, classic PCL mechanism. So that was my concerns watching that. No, so PCL cleared, just contusion. Okay, so he should really be able to get back from that in 2 weeks. But it quite painful, and he was really struggling to flex his knee last week.
Yeah, especially for running backs, it's a position where you need to use your legs a lot. So
yeah, exactly. I think the knee joint itself, pretty important in every position. But yeah, certainly the guy that takes the most contact, and they feed him when he's when he's on, they feed him the rock big time. So that one, I don't have any late mail for you. That might be a set your alarm early and see what happens.
Other interesting news, Ragnar for the Lions has actually come out of retirement because I think Glasgow
they're banged up.
Is injured. Their offensive line is banged up. So getting a full-time Pro Bowler out of retirement to come join your squad is pretty good. But
he's only 29 as well.
He's young though.
Yeah, I actually thought he might have been in his mid-30s, so not a bad guy to come in and obviously knows their scheme and ready-made to fill in on their own.
I assume Jarrett put in a call.
Hey,
please come back. I need
buy us
protection.
something nice for Black Friday sales and come block for me, man. We're going to need it against this scary Packers front seven.
Yeah, it's basically a playoff game.
Which is crazy to say 6 weeks
division.
out.
I think there's a lot of divisions that are in the same boat with very close across the board. Like I think the North and both sides is like that. So, there's some pretty tight races at the moment in divisions. So, this will be a big one.
As it stands, Bears 8-3, Packers and Lions both a game behind. The Packers do have that tie, so they're technically only half a game behind. But you lose tomorrow, either team, and you're 2 games behind the Bears, and then you're not really controlling your own destiny. 2 games behind.
Granted, third in a division, it's very hard for a wild card. So.
Granted, Chicago have a hard run home.
Yep.
There's going to be 2 teams come out of this division minimum I would say. And
South's poo. So.
Well, pending the other divisions, you may still be able to lose tomorrow and make it.
Yeah. Well, I think with the South and the East, probably only having 1 at this stage, but the West, has got probably 3 coming out of the West. So it's going to be. Like I said, it's pretty close to a playoff game. You got to win it to really cement yourself. I think they do the playoff percentages, the likelihood of making the playoffs. Win this, it really, really helps. Lose it really hurts you.
Yep, big time. So certainly a scary game for the Packers. It is in Detroit. Expect, in the Dome sometimes to be a little bit higher scoring. And the thing that gives me a little bit of confidence is the Packers look really good against Detroit week 1. Yep. I know that's a long time ago. And I know
divisional games are a bit different to other games.
And potentially no Jacobs and definitely no Kraft, and receivers haven't been great. Christian Watson's starting to come back and look good.
I think Golden might miss and Reed's still way off. So
yeah,
it's Dobson, Wicks and Watson.
Yep. The Lions are favourites, $1.64. Packers $2.28. Unders overs 48.5, so they're expecting a few points.
Yeah, they were pretty good last week. Speaking of playoff games.
Yeah, this is a playoff game.
Kansas City. Yeah, well, Kansas City need to win out to make the playoffs, I think, at this point.
Yeah, it's one of those percentage things. They could probably lose 1. They certainly can't lose 2.
Yeah, but at this stage, you probably don't want to lose now and then have to win out. So it's pretty close to needing to win. And I think Dallas are pretty much in the same boat.
Yeah, Dallas certainly can't lose. Yeah, they've managed to get themselves back to 500 over the last couple of weeks. Offensively, they look great. Defensively, probably a little bit lackluster. I've got the Chiefs' schedule. Dallas in Dallas is a relatively hard ask. They then play Houston and Los Angeles at home. Los Angeles Chargers.
So Chargers and Denver is their tough ones. So.
And at Tennessee, at Vegas, they should really win those 2 games. But there's a few bogey games there, particularly Week 17 against the Broncos.
Yep.
They might be hoping for the Broncos to have the division wrapped up and maybe be taking things a little bit easy.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. I think that Chargers game week 15 because Chargers are 2 games ahead of them. So they're going to...
That's a playoff game, essentially.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, they need to kind of in win-out mode.
One game.
2,
Chargers.
yeah.
And they're three behind your Broncos.
Yeah, so
8
Chargers to Broncos is 2. Sorry. Yeah, so they're a game behind the Chargers. So, yeah, that game will be pretty close to playoff game itself. So.
Chiefs are favourites, $1.50 versus Cowboys $2.50, expecting unders overs of 52.5 points. They reckon there's some points coming tomorrow. In the third game, I reckon there'll definitely be some points. The Bengals defense is doo-doo.
Yes.
And offensively, they might look a bit better because Joey Burrow is back after missing 3 months with the turf toe injury.
Do get Chase back after his spitting suspension, but they lose Higgins through concussion. Sorry, but they go up against the Ravens, who are on a 5-game win streak. They were 1-5, now 6-5.
They've done,
and they lead the division, don't they?
Yeah, they went ahead of Pittsburgh on the weekend. I think every sort of sports podcast, show that was looking at the Ravens schedule and just going, yeah, they just need to tread water whilst Lamar's out.
Yeah, they just need Lamar back.
That's right. Snoop Huntley was able to get the job done in a game or two, and now they're top of the division and really should win the division.
Yep. Yeah. Bengals sitting at 3-8, a long odds.
That bye week was timely for the Ravens. I've got their schedule up. They were 1-5, then had the bye. They had the 1 win against Chicago with Snoop Huntley at the helm, and then have gone away at Miami, away at Minnesota, away at Cleveland, and then home against New York. Pretty much games that they should have won, and they've managed to win them all, which is hard to do in the NFL.
Yeah, they get Bengals twice in 3 weeks. Pittsburgh in there, New England. They got a bit of, I guess, New England and the Packers are going to be their tough asks.
Yep. And
Pittsburgh twice.
Or at Pittsburgh week 18. That's going to be massive.
But Pittsburgh twice, Cincinnati twice. I think they'll be expecting to win those 4.
What are your picks for tomorrow? I'm going to go Green Bay, Kansas City, Baltimore.
Yeah, I feel the same. But that's the favourites though. So.
No, well, Detroit's favourites.
Detroit's favourite. I'm just not a huge fan of this Detroit team. I think their secondary is actually banged up. So
yeah, defensively, they
hoping for a big game.
Look pretty ordinary at times. Probably the big one, certainly one for me as a Packers fan, is the 5 a.m. start over here. Enjoy your Thanksgiving football, whether you're over there or a fan down under. We do get a Saturday night game as well.
Yep.
Which is
really?
Chicago at Philadelphia.
Well, Saturday our time, so it's a Friday game.
Is it? Yeah.
Based on how I've
written that's right, because it'll be Black Friday. Yeah, lots of people will be off over there.
Huge game, this one.
Yeah. Both teams are 8-3.
Yeah.
Who would have thought that at the start of the year? The question does remain, are the Bears fraud? Me, Packers fan, I think yes.
How did they start? I thought
they lost their first 2 games.
Yeah, that's right.
They had one against Minnesota, which they really should have won, and they managed to lose it. And then they got smacked by Detroit week 2. And then since then they've only
Dallas,
lost
Vegas, Washington in a close one, Saints, Ravens.
It's not the creme de la creme of wins.
New York win, yeah.
But having said that, since week 2 they've gone 8-1. So I don't know if you can argue against that record. Well,
the only team they've played above 500 at that point is none of them. So I think the Eagles are the first team at that point in the season would have been.
Yeah, because when they played Baltimore, they were below 500. Yeah. Pittsburgh on the weekend would have been technically above 500, but lots of Vegas, Washington, New Orleans, they went on a run there. None of them are good teams.
They'll get real tests because they've got Eagles into
at Green Bay.
Yeah, Cleveland defense been good.
Yep. Green Bay again.
Niners, Lions.
Away at 49ers. They could miss the playoffs.
Yep. They're going to lose most of them, if not all of them. So
let's give them the benefit of the doubt against Cleveland.
Yep.
They win that. They really need one more win on that run home. They shouldn't miss the playoffs.
Shouldn't.
But you've seen weirder things in the NFL before, that's for sure. To their credit, I've spent a lot of time bashing them and saying how easy the schedule's been. You still have to win those games, which Green Bay hasn't put away the bad teams.
Yep.
And Caleb Williams has taken a huge step forward this year after showing flashes last year. Certainly, a lot of people were saying Jaden Daniels was the best quarterback in the class last year, and then sort of flipped the script this year, and he's got some weapons offensively.
Mm-hmm.
They've got Loveland going over the last couple of weeks as well. That he had that massive walk-off touchdown a few weeks ago against the Bengals, and he found the end zone again on the weekend. You spend the 10th overall pick on someone, you want them to be, performing straight away. And Roma Dunze is obviously turning out to be a pretty good receiver. And we've seen a bit of a resurgence in their running game as well. I think they're 4th for rush yards per game, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, having said that, Williams hasn't thrown for over 300 yet. So
no, hasn't needed to.
But yeah, exactly, hasn't needed to.
And they're not fully healthy on defense either. So, look, big test, obviously, tomorrow at Philadelphia.
Huge test.
They can certainly afford to lose that game. But in that division, you wouldn't want to lose at Philadelphia, lose at Green Bay. Pressure starts.
Yeah, well, they're the kind of team that needs to show they can hang with the big dogs, and this is a huge confidence builder for them.
Philly on the other side of tomorrow, they're 8-3. Mm-hmm. They're maybe the best team in the NFC, but they just look so far behind where they were last year.
Yep.
They can't get Saquon going. He's averaging.
Yeah, well, I think offensively they're not in the same ballpark, and defensively it's probably what's keeping them in games and why they're winning. So yeah, I think that's the big difference.
It's so weird that the NFL can just work out how to play Saquon, because he was busting off 100-yard plus games every single week last week, and this year they just can't really get him going. He's had one big game, and he's averaging less than 4 yards a carry.
Yeah. Well, I think is Lane Johnson injured now?
Yeah, had been, and
I guess Kels was the big loss for them.
Yeah, so they had Cam Jurgens come in for centre, who also missed some time as well. So they have been banged up on the offensive line. But yeah, I don't know. I found it weird when he was probably the best player in football last year.
Yeah, well, I think teams just playing him smarter. Just like taking away as much as possible, trying to force Hurts to beat you with his arm, and to his credit, he was doing well enough. Probably not as
with his arm. Yes.
Yeah, probably not as amazing as AJ Brown would love him to be, but they've been doing enough.
And big turn last week with being up 21-0 and then getting run over in the second half by Dallas, and Dallas playing for their season last week.
Yeah. They just parked the bus, or is what I feel like it.
Yeah, I've got the numbers here for Saquon. 185 carries, 684 yards, averaged 3.7, and just 4 touchdowns on the ground. And you look at his longest run, there's only one game where he's had a run over 20 yards, which is insane compared to how he was going last year.
Oh, yeah. Comes at you fast.
I think Philadelphia get the job done. I think, despite the records being the same, I don't think these two teams are the same. Prove me wrong, Bears and Bears fans.
Well, that's the whole point. If Bears win, you can start.
Yeah, then
you can start in that conversation. Like,
if they're 9-3, they're not going to miss the playoffs from 9-3. And you start going, well, how good are these guys? The narrative really changes to
100%.
Yeah, can they win the Super Bowl? Kind of thing. If they beat the defending champs, I don't think they can, but prove us wrong. All right, let's go into the early window of the Sunday games. We've got Myles Garrett and the Cleveland Browns taking on San Francisco 49ers. Myles, 18 sacks.
Yep.
6 games ago.
He's getting them in big bunches as well. So I think he's had, a game of 4, a game of 5, and a game of 3 to make up the majority of them.
Yep.
But, he's pretty consistent. Everyone shout on that Mason Graham pick, but he's been excellent for giving Myles Garrett single teams.
They have the best defensive line in football, I think. Easy. And there's some good ones getting around.
Their front seven's really good. What's Carson's last name?
Schweisinger, I think.
Something like that. He's been excellent, but I think he's hurt at the moment. Their defense is what's keeping them relevant, considering their offense is doo-doo.
Shadua didn't look too bad.
Not too bad, but he wasn't awesome.
No. He'll be starting again.
Correct.
This week. Yep.
He will start. Big test. Big test the Niners, who probably not as good defensively as they've been in the past, but it doesn't matter if you can get CMC 40 touches a game. and he's holding up that workload. Didn't sacrifice a teammate last week, so we'll see whether he can keep up with his workload. But they've started to roll in Robinson a little bit more to give him some extra breaks. But yeah, he's on pace to break that. Myles Garrett is on pace to break that sack record. He's got 18 And he's
He really
five
should.
he should,
it.
yeah.
He only needs 5.
5 game. Was it 6 games?
5 in 6 games.
Yeah, 5 and 6 games. Should.
It's 22 and a half is the record. So Michael Strahan had that for a long time, and then TJ Watt equaled it a couple of seasons ago. So, yeah, not too far off. The way he's been playing, he could do that in 2 weeks.
Yep.
So what do you reckon about 49ers? The 49ers looked a bit... They got the win, Monday Night Football, but Brock Purdy threw 3 picks in the first half.
Well, the whole game was pick city, so I think there was 5 in total in that game. Yeah, Brock's coming back.
Yeah.
Let's put it there.
He's been hurt.
He's been hurt. He's working his way back. Starting to get his weapons back. Jennings finally starting to get a bit healthy, get all healthy. CMC's had a pretty good year, so I think they're still good enough. And I think they should be better. They're 8-3, aren't they? Like even after all that, they're still 8-3.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. And credit to Mac Jones. You know, full circles type moments. You know, with them famously passing on him in the draft and taking Trey Lance, and obviously didn't work out. And then Mac Jones ends up at the team that a lot of pundits had him going to, and just has an argument that he was played better than Brock Purdy.
Yes.
Yeah. So Purdy, obviously, they paid him. He's taken him to the Super Bowl. You know, I think it was always going to be his job to go back into once healthy. But yeah, he may if he plays like he did on Monday night, multiple games in a row, there might be some of that rhetoric about bring back. Yeah.
Did he take him to the Super Bowl? Championship game, maybe.
Super Bowl, yeah,
He did.
Yep, they lost to the Chiefs. Mr. Irrelevant season.
You sure about that?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, Brock Purdy, he's been to the Super Bowl. Crazy.
I believe you.
Yeah. Mr. Irrelevant.
Yeah.
And there was
Time flies.
And then
that was 3 years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, that year there was lots of he's a system quarterback. You know, anyone running that behind that offensive line and CMC and with that defense could do it. Yada yada.
I remember now.
Yeah, and I think he's still pretty good. Just been banged up. Bit of a trap game, I think, though, for the 49ers. They're $1.36, Cleveland $3.20. The total match points 36. Expect that to be low. And yeah, from a Cleveland perspective, lots of eyes on Shedeur Sanders, that's for sure. If he could string together a run of good games here.
Well, he was the first starting quarterback for the Browns to win as their first game.
Crazy.
In like 20-something years. The previous quarterbacks were all 0-17, I think it was. So, yeah.
Nuts.
Yeah, nuts.
And
it does help you go up against Vegas as your favorite games.
Yeah. And the question then, if he plays a good month of football here in December, draft-wise, you know, because lots of people have had Cleveland going quarterback again.
Still got Watson over there, you know, and he's supposedly not too far away.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to go quarterback. You don't. I don't know. It's too hard. We're so far away. It sort of depends on how early they pick in. Is it top 5 or is it sort of pick 10?
Yep.
You know.
Well, here's your segue. Titans are probably picking number 1
again.
Yeah,
and
they're
probably not taking quarterback.
Yeah, they're the only team to have won one game. So
worst team in football.
Yep, 1-10 I think it is. 1-11, whatever it is.
Yeah, they've been ordinary. Cam Ward's certainly shown it at
1-10
at times. But he's
got the talent as an arm talent, but the rest of the team. There's a reason they were picked first last year.
They can't run the ball.
The team was creep.
Cam Ward's not known for his legs, and multiple games in a row he's had more rushing yards than Tony Pollard.
It happens when your best running back's playing for the Ravens now. So, I think Vrabel has very much shown that he wasn't the issue in Tennessee.
I think he's probably feeling pretty smug right now.
Yeah, we've talked about it. All their best players are now playing on other teams, and what they were left with, what they've drafted, unfortunately, hasn't been good enough to be replacements.
Jags are $1.30.
Speaking of Jags, 7-4.
Yeah,
they've been
should win the South.
Yeah, been surprising.
Excuse me, should get out of the South.
Should get out of the South. Yeah, pretty tight old South there, but they've been better considering their offense has probably been pretty banged up. So,
their last few weeks they've really they smacked the crap out of the Chargers a couple of weeks ago.
Yep.
Scrappy last weekend, but got the overtime win, 7-4. I said that pretty confidently. I'm now looking across the AFC.
It's tough.
Yeah, they do not want to lose tomorrow. That will really throw us.
Yeah, as long as they're just hoping one team comes out of the North.
Yes,
which seems likely, but yeah, the West could have 3.
The in the hunt is going to be crazy in the AFC because line through them, it's only Raiders, Titans, Browns, Bengals, Jets, Probably Dolphins.
You never know. Joey B's back. Bengals could win every game from here.
They got 8 losses. Remember last year?
They did this though. They had the run last year.
Same shit. Yeah,
and just missed out. So
I just think 3-8. You're 3 games behind 2 teams.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think so.
It's too much. And with their defense,
their defense is so.
Don't even put this in my mind. Their defense is horrendous.
Look at that, 360
too much to ask
points
one man to do.
No one in the AFC is close to that. I'm looking at that list.
Yeah,
even the Titans
points against
have scored, had 60 less scored against them.
They've conceded twice the amount of points that the Texans have. Yep. Texans defense is pretty good. Yes. Jags should win that tomorrow. I think.
Actually, I don't think it's been updated. I think they had 200 points scored against. Oh no,
that should be.
Was Packers.
Yeah,
I disregard that stat.
That should be all up to date. Yep. Speaking of the Texans, this will be a good game. One of the best offenses in the NFL taking on one of the best defenses.
Probably playoff game for the Texans.
Yeah. They lose, they're done. Yep. I would say.
Think Shroud might be back out of the concussion protocol. But having said that,
the 1-3 in a row with Davis Mills.
Yeah, Mills has been good. He was pretty good. As a second year, I think it is.
He's one of the better backups.
Yes, I agree.
I'm not going to say he's like an elite backup, but I'll say he's like tier 2 of backups.
He's a pretty good quarterback that got replaced by a young high draft pick. And Stroud had a really good rookie year. Hasn't been great since then, unfortunately. But Mills has been winning games for him. He's been unlocked some of their young fellas. And that defense is legit, so that could be the difference in this. I don't think the Colts defense is as good.
No, definitely not.
And they're heavily dependent on JT having big games. Yeah, I wonder if we're going to get a Daniel Jones in New York type game out of this one.
I don't think so. I think they're 6-0 at home. I think offensively, they're going to match up pretty well against the Texans here. I don't think they'll blow them out of the park. That's for sure.
No, that'll be a close game.
They really, they got Mahomes on the weekend in a game that kind of had some AFC championship feels about it. You think there's a team in orange that should be in that AFC championship game, but certainly a good game last week. And
but I just go back and look at that. I go back and look at that Steelers game though, and Houston's up there, probably a better defense than the Steelers were. And, it's take JT away, force Daniel Jones to do things he's probably not as comfortable doing, and leads to turnovers.
I'm going to get the Jonathan Taylor stats up, or the game log is what I want, because there's only been 2 teams that have contained him, I'm pretty sure, in the year. So Pittsburgh did it. So he only had 45 yards on the ground and didn't find the end zone, and was going at 3.2 yards a carry. And then the Chiefs fairly well contained him too. 16 carries, 58 yards, 0 touchdowns at 3.6. Every other game, he's had bulk yards or has found the end zone multiple times, or has even scored a few receiving touchdowns. Can they contain him? And the better defenses in the NFL seem to be able to do it. And then some of the lackluster defenses are getting 150 yards and 3 touchdowns on the ground put up against them by probably the offensive player of the year. Yep.
So I think that's the ball game. See if they can contain JT. Go a long way for them winning this game.
Colts are favourites, $1.46, $2.75 for the Texans. We won't spend much time on this one. New Orleans at Miami. This is
Finns on a 2-game win streak. They should probably win this.
They've looked a bit better,
but they're kind of in the same bucket as the Bengals. They got to win out from here to even be considered. But I don't think they're good enough.
No, I think they should probably win that game, but not going to have many playoff ramifications. Either will this game. Atlanta, probably a better chance of making the playoffs, but they might have left their run too late. Let me just get their record. 4-7. They're 2 games behind the Panthers.
Good for them is they're in the South.
Yeah, they're in the right division to start poorly.
We'll have to talk about Baker dealing with his AC sprain. So that helps them.
I don't think he's going to play. I think it's going to be Teddy.
I think you could be be right, but that's Teddy didn't look real good the other night. So
they got smacked on Sunday Night Football.
They got pumped. So Falcons do lose Penix, AC, season done. Cousins started that last game, and they won that. London has got the PCL strain. they're saying, again, doubtful for this, so that'll be his 2 weeks, so likely to miss. This one, Jets, though. Actually, funny start back on JT. JT's got more rushing yards than Fields has passing yards so far this year.
Crazy.
So, but having said that,
They take quarterback next year, don't they? The Jets.
you think so?
Yeah,
They're going to be picking 2 or 1 at this rate.
Yeah.
If
the season finished today, they'd be picking 2 or 3. Yeah. I think they'll take a quarterback.
Yep.
So probably Mendoza looking like the best at the moment.
Could be. Yeah. Finishing 2 or 3 is not a bad spot because if Titans finish 1, likely to get quarterback.
Well, it's almost tankathon time now as well. It's like, do you want to win these games?
Yeah, well, I think the Falcons want to win because they still have a chance.
Jets
not.
Yeah.
And, I think the whole Cousins story, bit of a redemption, see if he can still prove he's it because, leading the trade window, he wanted to be traded to a team where he potentially could start. I think all those teams with injured quarterbacks.
There's about 8 teams where he would walk into a job, I would
Could have
think.
done. But, they kept him and proved to be very good because Penix has now had his 3rd ACL.
Yeah, he had 2, I think, before.
2,
I might just bring that up because I remember talking about that pre-draft.
Yeah, because I think he did both knees and then he did shoulders and
he's old as well for a sophomore player. He's 25 and I think you're right. I think it's his 3rd ACL. All right, so he did one at Indiana back in 2018.
Yeah, would have done. So he did that one.
And then
did he redo it?
No, I think it's 2.
Yeah, for season rehabbing.
He definitely did one at Indiana. I thought he had 2. Anyways,
he's got 2 now.
That's true. How many ACLs?
Or just go Penix injury history and see if we get a list because I'm sure there's a list somewhere.
What is that? Yeah, there's 3.
3.
Yep,
yeah,
3.
So
you still have to ask AI. It's better than trying to read articles.
So first, his right knee. I'll play his second.
So so 2018, he did his right ACL at Indiana.
Yep.
2020 did his right ACL again at Indiana. 2025 has done his left. That's also not good because it means he's got bilateral now.
Yes.
Yeah, wishing him all the best with his rehab. That sucks, and it's gonna be hard because he's also had that pretty horrific shoulder injury too. Anyways, in terms of this season for Atlanta, it's
Kirk Cousins now.
Yeah, it has to win out, and probably not a bad little opportunity for him to do it at the Jets, who are pretty ordinary.
Yes.
Arizona at Tampa Bay. We just spoke about Baker Mayfield likely to miss. Probably going to be Teddy Bridgewater against Jacoby Brissett. I'll get you some odds here.
Cards have been sort of fun.
They're better under Jacoby Brissett,
yeah.
which is crazy. Yeah, where are the odds? $2.22, $1.67. So probably the odds reflecting Baker not playing. I would think they would be a fair bit shorter than that if Baker is good to go.
Fair bit shorter. The Buccaneers are still $1.67.
Yeah, I think they might be like $1.40 if Baker was healthy and ready to go.
I don't think the Buccaneers are that much better of a football team than the Cardinals are, though.
Interesting. Yeah. We'll see how it plays out.
Maybe slightly more defensively, but yeah.
It is in South Florida. Arizona have lost a lot of games close as well.
Yes,
So potentially their record a little bit worse than what they are.
That's exactly what I'm thinking. So I think it'll be a good football game. Coin toss for a winner.
I think Tampa win that. Los Angeles at Carolina. That's Rams at Carolina. After the beatdown on Sunday Night Football, should these guys be the Super Bowl favourites, do you think? I think they are. I think the bookies seem to think they are.
I think they've got everything that you could potentially want in a team. They they look very reminiscent of the last time they won a Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. Got good defense. Yeah, they're favourites there.
$5 for the LA Rams ahead of Philly, $6.50, and then it goes out to double digits for Colts, Chiefs, Ravens, Lions, Seahawks,
I think we've said it in the
Bills.
past. That team highly dependent on Stafford and his health, and he's a pretty good slinger of the football, and he's playing at an MVP level. So yeah, there's a reason why they're favourites.
Should we get some MVP odds? Because he's leading that too. $1.45. That's a lot.
What is he?
Shorter.
Is he 30 touchdowns and 2 intercepts?
I think he's thrown 2 picks.
Yeah,
crazy.
But I think he's also 9 touchdowns ahead of the next quarterback.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's NFL passing stats. Yeah, I think he's just a At this stage of the season, been too dominant.
He has thrown 30 touchdowns, 2 interceptions.
So he's 7 ahead of Dak, who might be second.
Yep, Dak is second with 23 and Goff on 23. His quarterback rating is 113.7.
Sort by touchdown. Just do it.
You want me to sort by touchdown?
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's just most passing touchdowns MVP. Is that what you reckon?
Well, the touchdowns definitely count. Let's put it that way.
Especially when your touchdown intercept ratio is 15-1.
Yes. Yeah.
So
I think that's where the comparison comes. And he's got the best RTG there.
Yeah, he's got the best rating by a fair margin out of anyone.
But you look at that, 15 sacks. You'll take that.
Yeah, he's getting protected. They can run the ball. They're so good in the red zone. Like Devontae Adams is catching 1-yard touchdown passes every week.
Yeah,
his release. I know we spoke about it a couple of weeks ago, but still very, very good. Puka's a machine. Would have potentially broken some records had he not missed a couple of games. They've certainly got all the and their defense is legitimate.
Yeah, so 100% agree.
Certainly got all the pieces. I think they'll smack Carolina. Panthers. It was fun to see him win a few games, but I don't think they're a playoff team.
Yeah, after what they did, getting all those turnovers and still losing, Horn is legit. So definitely a great corner.
What's the dick hit? I was listening to the Part of My Take boys talk a little bit about this. There's been a few of these in the NFL. It's like a little sack whack.
No, he legitimately just
punched him.
He punched him. He has full swing in this one. And,
I didn't see this.
Jennings was not happy about this after the match. He got suspended for the week and tried to appeal and all that lot, but in the end, so that's the.
So there's a bit of push and shove.
That's the push and shove afterwards.
So that's not.
I think they might show the replay in that though for the reason for the push and shove. So you watched it out, but yeah, I think Jennings is kind of like standing over the pile and.
Oh, does he punch up?
Oh no, he's kind of leaning over. It's kind of more like one of the, you're in the scrum kind of thing. It's a little upcut. Cops him square on the groin. So yeah, cup check is a definite valid thing in there. So he wasn't real happy. Here you go. This is the one. Hey,
that is a left hook below the belt. Yeah. How long do you get suspended for?
Week. Yeah, a week.
So a week for that?
Yeah.
I feel like you should get a little bit more than that potentially.
Well, if Chase gets a week for spitting on a bloke.
Yeah, I suppose that's probably sets a precedent.
Yeah, because I saw him run off after this and he's just like, he's grabbing his dick. Actually, someone got their wiener pulled this week as well. There was Williams, wasn't it?
The NFL has got an inappropriate touching problem at the moment.
Yeah. Well, he probably wasn't wearing a cup. None of the receivers wear cups these days. So, might wear one next week.
Check out that footage if you haven't seen it. I was just watching on Instagram. Certainly closed fist swing below the belt.
Yeah. Rams win this one. Move on.
Yep. They're Super Bowl favourites. Stafford's MVP. Barring injury, I think it's his to lose now, isn't it?
Yep.
Minnesota at Seattle. The Vikings are really struggling. I saw a comparison between JJ McCarthy's first 6 games and Jamarcus Russell's first 6 games, and McCarthy's numbers did not stack up. Pressure building on him.
Yeah, well, I think it's less Minnesota struggling, more McCarthy struggling. He's got all the weapons you could want over there in Vikings land, and he can't unlock it. So, and they're going up against the man that they let go.
Yeah.
So, and to essentially have pick a quarterback in this heavy quarterback draft, and they picked number, was he 4 or 5? Was Penix 4 and he was the 5th one? Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yes. Penix was pick 8 and he was the 4th taken.
Yep. Yeah. So, they've made that choice, and unfortunately, this is his rookie season essentially, and he's playing like a rookie. So, they'll have to put up with that. Seattle on the other side,
they're flying.
They're flying. Sam Darnold looks good. Smith and Jigba is on track to break Megatron's record for 2,000 in his season. So
he's over 250 receiving yards ahead of 2, who is George Pickens, which is insane. I was having a look at his worst receiving game this year. Is 4 catches for 79 yards.
Yep.
So he hasn't had less than 79 yards in a game this year, and just gets 100 yards and a single touchdown most games. Yeah, he's been an absolute revelation and had to be, I think.
I was going to say the exact same thing. I think he had to be because Cup really has been a shell of his former self, so he's been getting lots of targets.
Yep. DK goes.
Yeah, they don't really have a tight end option.
Yep.
Horton's a young player that's kind of come on
Hot
and cold.
Yep.
They just traded for Shaheed to come across from the Saints to probably give them a second option.
Yep.
So, yeah, he's that's why he's getting bold targets, but he's been converting them into receptions.
He broke the Seattle single season receiving yards record on the weekend.
Yep.
There's 6 games left.
Yep. I told you, he's on pace to get over 2,000.
Crazy.
I think it's 2,040 odd for Megatron's record.
Yep.
So at his current pace, he's going to eclipse it by like 10. So it's a pretty tight record. Actually, no,
1964.
Yeah, and he's on
no
pace
one's
for
ever
like
got 2,000.
Yeah, I think he's on pace for just over 2,000. So it's pretty close.
And only 2 guys have ever gone 1,900. So, yeah, if he doesn't get the record, he doesn't get hurt, good chance he's top 5, top 3 ever seasons from receiving yard perspective. Nuts.
But
Seattle win. I'll get you some odds, but I can't imagine they look great for Vikings fans. Yes, let me scroll. Seattle, $1.13.
Yep.
$6 for the Vikings. JSN going at 120 yards a game. Going to be hard to contain. Yep. Buffalo at Pittsburgh. The Bills also on a bit of fraud watch, I think. They look like the best team in the NFL some weeks, and then some weeks they... Allen makes mistakes and the defense gives up points. And
it happens when you have no weapons on offense and you're expecting Allen to do everything.
Hey, James Cook is the legitimate running back.
True.
I think it's kind of been the chat for the last few years, since Stephon Diggs left, and who's going to be their number one receiver.
Coleman's been rested, whether that's, it's a young player that needs attitude adjustment. Gabe Davis is back. They've just signed Brandon Cooks to come across as well.
Uh-huh.
So, getting the veterans back in the door, maybe some of those guys can help Allen, but we've talked about it. They don't have a decent wide receiver option. Yeah.
Khalil Shakir has got the most yards, and he's 32 in the league, which is nuts. So there's multiple tight ends and a running back that have got more receiving yards.
And their defense has kind of been that defense for the last couple of years. It's just... It's serviceable, but it's just hasn't been the best. So,
having said that, Pittsburgh also look hot and cold. I think Pittsburgh's defense is pretty legitimate.
Yeah, I think that'll be the question in this, whether they can unsettle Allen or do they bring out another unwieldy MVP type game out of Allen with the pressure and he carves them up. Well, it's hard to say.
Seems to be coin.
Yeah, I'd say
coin flip. Yeah. You either get Allen going nuts or they just look a little bit ordinary and lose games that they shouldn't, to Miami a few weeks ago.
I think the Steelers kind of holding on at the moment. Aaron Rodgers has got the slight fracture in his wrist that he's playing through.
Yeah, so it's going to be Mason. It's going to be Mason Rudolph.
He's going to be Rudolph again.
So they.
Yeah,
Rodgers wanted to play with a broken wrist. I think the medical staff was like, dude, you old. Let's just sit this one out. Rudolph goes out and plays serviceable.
Yep.
And I think it's looking like Rudolph to start in this one. Steelers will be $2.50 underdogs at home. Bills $1.54. Did you see TJ Watt pass his brother for sacks? And JJ was calling it.
And said, that's it. I've got to put the pads back on.
He'd still go pretty good. He'd still go pretty good, I reckon.
Yeah.
That's a massive game in terms of the AFC race.
Yes.
Again, if you're...
They're both in the wildcard hunt at this stage.
Correct.
But, if they want to keep pace in their divisions.
Well, the Bills are 3 games behind the Pats. They're probably not going to catch them.
No, but they... the Steelers on the flip side, I agree. I don't think they'll catch them at this rate. Steelers on the flip side are keeping pace with the Ravens, but... We think probably Ravens win that division.
Yes, I'd say so.
So, they're then in that wild card hunt, to stay in there, potentially stick it.
Loss on Sunday could be catastrophic for the Steelers season.
Yep, agree.
Vegas go to LA Chargers. Chargers will be real short. I'm just going to find this because, $1.16 versus $5.30.
Chargers should win. Hampton's training again. Don't think he's playing in this, though.
Mm-hmm.
their offensive line's all kinds of backed up, so I expect Crosby to maybe get a couple sacks in this.
Did you see when they were on Sunday Night Football, or it was a primetime game anyways, because they had the player readouts, and they had the pro football rankings of their offensive line?
Which one, for Raiders or for...
No, the Chargers.
Yeah, they're all like
the
last.
PFF. Yeah, they were 4 out of their 5 were in the bottom 2 in the league.
Yeah.
You feel for Justin Herbert.
Yes.
Again, it's been injury. It's like
True.
just all happening at one position.
Yeah.
And regardless, they're still going well.
They're still held in. I worry for his safety when they play Denver again with that offensive line the way it is. So, yeah, I think the Chargers will be too good for Vegas. Vegas sacked Chip Kelly, who was the highest paid offensive coordinator in the league during the week. So see if that maybe unlocks their offense a little bit. Geno's been bad.
Yeah.
And I think all the things we said about how bad their offensive line has been there is just as bad. So, it's very hard for Geno and Genty to be able to do anything.
And we're talking draft before as well. I think they might be tankathon, pick early, take quarterback.
Yeah.
I imagine is the play there. Chargers 7-4. They are a game ahead against of the Chiefs, but yeah, they will have the Chiefs nipping down their heels down the stretch. So you don't want to be dropping games like that. And your Broncos go to Washington. Probably a game too early for Jaden Daniels. Marcus Mariota been running the show for Washington.
Whether they should bring back Daniels, probably lose this game. They'll be 3-9 at that point. So
yeah, do you risk it?
Yeah. Considering he's been banged up all year.
They're 3-8 at the moment. They've lost 6 in a row.
Yeah, but having said that, Joey B kind of covered it off as like, I'm a healthy football player. Like, I want to play football games. Why would I not? So, I want to work and start improving for next year kind of thing.
And there's also 5 games left. I think if it's 1 game left, you probably that guides your decision making. I don't know if you sit out a whole month and a bit of football because you're thinking about next year. Having said that, when he did that injury and they were down 27 points or 30 points or something.
They haven't won since then. And
there's probably a question mark of should he have been in the game at that stage?
Yeah, true. Highly likely they're probably going to be 3-9 after this.
Yep.
Touch on the wood. No trap games here for Denver.
How good are the Broncos? Can they win the Super Bowl?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think if we get more games out of Bo Nix like we did in the last one where he throws up for almost 300, then I think that's where they can go. Like losing Dobbins really hurts.
Yep.
They're basically completely healthy on defense.
Yep.
Everyone should be back. So, the defense is dominant enough.
The last 2 months of football have looked pretty impressive. Beat Kansas City. 2 weeks ago.
Haven't lost in regulation. I'll put that out to you.
Yes, both their losses were overtime.
Well, time expiring, let's put it there.
Okay.
Yeah, we get the bullshit leverage penalty against the Colts.
Yep.
Only one called this whole season. So,
Yep.
and then, of course, the Chargers kick theirs as time expires as well.
And their 2 losses have been by a point and by 3 points.
Yeah.
So they're 4 points away from being having a perfect season.
So, yeah, they've been pretty close. And I think their offense is still growing. The wide receivers are super young. Rookie running back. Like,
it's been good. Troy Franklin, the wide receiver 2.
Yeah, that's his second year.
Yeah.
Pat Bryant's coming on in leaps and bounds. It's his rookie year.
Yeah.
So I think they've got a lot of the pieces in place, and then that defense is just that defense.
If you're just looking at defense, and they say defense wins championships, and I think it is an important part if you look historically as to who wins. It's often the team with the best defense. Great argument there for Denver winning the whole thing. I do. You look at their offense and you think, is this a Super Bowl caliber offense?
Well, you said they have to be the guys that won the Super Bowl last year. And you look at who played in the Super Bowl last year. Both those teams, they've beaten them. So, there's...
Yeah, that's a great point. They beat the Chiefs, obviously, a couple of weeks ago. And then back in the start of October, beat Philly. They've got a few big scalps as well. And like you said, those 2 losses have been incredibly close.
Yeah. So,
what's their run home? They bank a few more wins and then they'll be in coast mode for the last couple of games.
Well, they're going to have another game against the Raiders, got another game against Kansas City, going to have another game against the Chargers. So that's at least 3 of them.
So they could be looking at a 14-game.
Yeah. So, but the next 2 is
14-win season.
Yeah, they are Commanders and Raiders next. Or your Packers.
That'll be a good game.
Jacksonville will be a good game, and then finish with KC and LA. So the last four.
That's a good matchup for the Chargers because Denver might be in rest everyone mode.
Could be, yeah. But yeah, that last month will be month of December. Will be a bit of a, well, I guess all those games are in December, but I guess those last four are the big challenges. They're the guys over 500.
Well, and looking at that, at Commanders, at Raiders, I should win both of those. That's 11 already. They're probably minimum winning 12 games and high end probably winning 14. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're looking pretty good.
Yeah.
It's a shame Monks isn't with us tonight because the Bucks are looking okay. The Packers are looking okay.
They need Baker, of course, back. But
Broncos are looking red hot.
Yeah.
And friend of the show, Steam, shout out to you if you're listening. His Patriots looking pretty good too. Who play on Monday Night Football. The old Brady-Eli Manning rivalry continues. Obviously, very different circumstances with New York's season all but done and dusted.
Some young quarterbacks, though.
A bit of fun watching Jameis Winston play, hey?
Yes, yeah. Well, he had a receiving touchdown, a rushing touchdown, and passing touchdown in that last game. So.
And threw a cannon in the first drive. Did you see that play that the Wandale Robinson play?
Mm-hmm.
They did the halfback toss out to the right, and it was like a long flea flicker. Like he turned around and pegged it back. And then Wandale Robinson, who's been sneaky good this season.
Yep. Didn't he have like 10 catches?
Yeah, he had over 100 yards and at least one touchdown. I think he's top 10 for receiving yards. I've got it open. I'll find that. Yeah. Which is massive. You lose Malik Neighbours and someone needs to step up.
Yeah.
Wandale Robinson.
Another one of those has a really good backup quarterback that probably could be starting in a few clubs.
Well, you look at the play from Winston over the last couple of weeks and you kind of think, why was Russell Wilson starting at the start of the year? He's the third best quarterback on the depth chart. Yes. But anyway, hindsight is 2020, as they say.
And that's why they've got a new head coach.
Yeah, correct. Daboll. Had he been sacked? He had been.
Maybe.
I think he'd just been sacked.
He's the second head coach sacked for the year?
Yes. Wandale Robinson, 66 receptions for 794 yards, just the 3 touchdowns. But yeah, he could have 1,000 yards receiving this year.
Yeah, so. He's in a nice spot there between Justin Jefferson and Christian McCaffrey.
Nuts. He's on pace for 1,000 and 1,000.
Does McCaffrey have the most receptions?
Let's have a look here.
He's got more.
Yeah, I think he might have one more than. Yeah. Trey McBride and Puka are also all up there. So the receptions title might be tight. 81 for CMC and then 80 for McBride, Nakua, JSN.
Yeah, it's wild. CMC's wide receiver 10.
That spit from Jamar was, in terms of records, might have cost him as well because he's a game behind, but only 2 receptions behind. Puka as well, who got hurt. He would probably be way ahead if it was just receptions that we're looking at and he didn't get hurt.
But in this, Dart should be back. Will Campbell lost for England. He's gone to IR. There's a huge loss for them. He's been pretty good.
Yeah, he's 4th overall pick, I think, or 5th overall pick.
Yep.
Really, really good. Big part of their success offensively. They're pretty short, $1.22. Yeah. Giants are $4.30.
Vrabel's got those Patriots playing. Old school Patriots.
I think the Patriots are better than the Bears, but also similar type strength of schedule argument. They've beaten the Bills, have beaten a couple good teams, but they've also had a relatively easy schedule. That's maybe why the Super Bowl odds don't have them high up at the moment. But 3 games ahead of the Bills, they're going to win the division, and then much like your Broncos may get to coast the last.
It's
couple
still
games.
wild for me that Kansas City's there at 4.
Yeah. Yeah, the Chiefs, who are no certainty to make the playoffs at the moment, are the 4th favourites in the NFL and the 2nd favourites in the AFC at $10. They're actually shorter than both your Broncos at 12s and the Patriots are at 13. Yep. Where do you put a line through going down this list? I
think all these teams can.
The Packers probably could.
Yeah,
I think they're the Chargers. I don't think the Chargers, given their injuries,
let's pass them.
49ers 26, Bucks 34. That's your line, the Bucks.
I think I was going to give the Niners probably. They could. I'm not huge on the Bucks at the moment without Baker, so they need a prime Baker. But the Chargers, I just think they're probably too banged up to do a really big run.
Yep.
Especially in player football when it's defense heavy.
Yep.
That offensive line, execution squad there for Justin.
Exactly right. It's a cool season,
Oh, it's fun.
Only 6 weeks to
like
go.
2015 again.
There's no one that's red hot favourites. But I think the last few, my mind after watching Sunday Night Football and the demolition job in the first half that the Rams did, I think there's a reason why they're the shortest price.
they got the MVP. We talked about it. They got the MVP. It makes a lot of sense.
All right, enjoy your Thanksgiving games, which will kick off pretty shortly. We also get that bonus game, which will be Friday night over there, Saturday morning, our time, into our regular Monday morning programming here. And, yeah, we only have a few more pods until we're starting to talk about NFL playoffs. So, definitely exciting time in the year.
Curry sets, fires, puts it up. Bang!
Apologies if we've blown your ears out. I think our sound effects mixing is probably not the
our little DJ has been in here playing.
Yeah, reports that Monks' daughter might have been in here doing a bit of DJ work on the buttons there. But anyways, if you're listening on your drive into work early in the morning, that's surely woken you up.
Yeah, I'll wake up to the bang,
bang. Definitely our loudest soundbite that there is. Let's stop talking about soundbites. Let's talk some NBA. We'll just go through the East and go through the West, and some teams that are really starting to pull ahead. The Pistons just keep playing good. This list I've got here is from a few days ago, but as it stood, the Pistons were the top of the East at 14-2. Let me see how the last couple of days have played out, and if they're still up there. They're 15-3. They lost to the Celtics today. So Cade Cunningham's going incredible. He's nearly averaging 10 dimes a game. That's second in the league, and the way that they've started really should be gunning for at least a top 4 finish in the East, which is nice for the NBA. I think to see a team that has been pretty ordinary over the last 10 plus years to be resurgent.
Well, I'm going to say the East looks very open.
Yeah, It's
considering who's in 10 and say 11.
Well, it's nearly the polar opposite to what it was last year, where early on the Celtics and the Cavs were so far ahead, it was like who can go with them. And much like we've discussed in the pod before, the NBA really starts after Christmas, and then when you head into the playoffs, and sometimes you can be the best team, throughout the regular season in your conference and bow out. And we saw that happen to both the Celtics and the Cavs last year. Cavs are going okay this year. Donovan Mitchell averaging 30 points a game. That's third in the East. I'll just see how they've gone over the last couple of days. They were fourth on Monday when I wrote that. They've dropped 1 and 1-1, so they're down to 5th, 12-7. The Raptors are worth talking about. They're 14-5, and which means they've won 13. They're 13-1 since the start of November.
Yeah, they've won 9 in a row.
Crazy. Brandon Ingram's been a good pickup. Obviously, the Pels, suffering without him. But I don't think anyone had the Raptors been as good as what they've been.
No, I agree.
Scotty Barnes as well, one of the better players in the NBA. So it'll be interesting to see if they can continue this. You start that well, you'd be gunning for anything playoffs and potentially something even more than that. I think as the season plays on, I'll be surprised if they finish top 4, but certainly giving themselves a good platform. Heat are 13-6. Norman Powell, they brought him across from the Clippers. He's been really good. They've won 6 in a row. Yep. They're looking pretty good. The Knicks, I think, will be very strong. Obviously, made the Eastern Conference finals last year. Went down the stretch against the team that ended up going to the finals, the Pacers, and they're looking really, really good. Jalen Brunson nearly averaging 30 a game, and Kat's averaging a 22-point double-double. So I think if I had to pick one in the East, maybe the Knicks at this stage. The mid starts to really tighten up. So just mentioned the Cavs at 5. 6, 7, 8 is Hawks, Magic, Celtics. Celtics, still keeping their head above water without Jason Tatum, doing a lot better than the Pacers doing without Hallie. And Jaylen Brown doing enough to carry them. I think until Tatum comes back, I think they should really be a playoff team.
Yeah, I just covered there, like between 4 and 10. There's a 2-game difference.
Yeah, it's
really
so tight.
there. So it's pretty tight. And I guess Bucks, they're at 11. They're a further game back, but anywhere they're all into play. And I think you've just put the line through Hornets, Nets, Pacers, and Wizards now. Yeah,
which is early in the season to do, but the Wizards are the worst team in the league, and I think the Pacers are going to have too much work to do in 2026. I want to talk about Josh Giddey and triple doubles. They have had a slide, the Bulls, so they started off 5-0.
They're 5-8 8, I think, if the math is right.
Yeah.
No, 4 and 8.
Since then. So after starting red hot, have really had a bit of a slide. I saw a stat. Where is Giddy all time? He's 24th all time for triple doubles, which is crazy to think because he's quite young. And then of active, I think he's in the top 10 for active players, I think is what I saw. So active players that have more triple doubles than Josh Giddey: Russell Westbrook, Nikola Jokic, LeBron James, Luka Doncic, James Harden, Domas Sabonis, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Draymond Green, Josh Giddey. So he's in the top 10 for active players for triple doubles. Crazy stuff, and will be the spearhead of not just the Bulls franchise but the Boomers moving forward. Lovely to see as well after all the off court shit that kind of happened at OKC, and it would have been hard for him, I think, to go watch all his ex teammates go out and
win the whole
thing last year. Yeah, so the fact that he's individually playing brilliantly, the Bulls have had a little bit of a slide, but watch the Giddey individual accolades stack up this season.
Speaking of slides, Bucks 6-game losing streak.
Without
Giannis.
Yeah, so Monday was 4, so they've lost two since
yep.
then. It's a groin. It doesn't seem like it's going to be long time out. They're so reliant on him. Basketball is like that. You know, it's much like losing your quarterback in the NFL. If you lose your generational talent at power forward, pretty hard to replace. They've also, their depth is not as, they're not as deep as what they have been in years past. So they'll be sweating on his return. I still think they're a playoff team. You know, you only have to be within QE with the play-in these days to...
Yeah, and they are. They're right there. So
but you don't want to keep sliding. That's for sure. And then, like you said, I think it is early in the season, but I think Hornets, Nets, Pacers, Wizards, it's probably line through them time. Have the Wizards won? Yeah, they won. That's good. They're 2-15. So they were 1-15 when I did these notes.
Not officially last on that list.
Crazy, hey, with the Pacers. Like, yes, you lose Miles Turner in free agency. Yes, Hallie, obviously done his Achilles in Game 7 of the finals. But to be a finals team to dead last in the space of 3 months,
haven't won a game away yet. So
it's 0-10 away. It's not looking good for the Pacers. I don't think you can come back from that. Like, I know it's a long season, and I know it's only the start of December, but
the thing for them is we don't see that changing because Hallie's not coming back anytime soon. So
we remember we're trying to do
what they have now is what they're going to have for the next 3 months.
3 months, I would say. Yeah.
So they're going to. If you follow that math out, there might be 2, there might be 6-40. So
it's almost it's kind of like we were talking about with Jaden Daniels before. It's like, do you bother kind of thing? Yeah. Maybe not, apples and apples comparison there, but if they're 20 games below 500, I don't know.
They're not far away.
Again, good luck keeping him out.
Exactly.
As soon as
if he thinks he can get
he's medically fit, he'll want to play. But it's again, you don't want to do it to the defending Eastern champs, but 2-16, pretty hard to recover from.
Yep.
Let's go over to the West. There's a team that's already short price favourite to go back to back this year. That's the OKC Thunder. They're 18-1. They've won the last 10. They're absolutely killing it. SGA, if not for a bloke who we're about to talk about, would also be talking about MVP stuff again. It's theirs to lose, which is crazy to say. Lakers 5 games behind them, and the Nuggets equal in 13-4, sitting in third. Nikola Jokic, a lot of people had him as their MVP last year. I do wonder if there was a little bit of fatigue, but I also think SGA, they won the comp, and
he wasn't bad.
Correct. I didn't think it was egregious that SGA won it last year, but we might be looking at Joker again this year. Yeah,
well, and by all accounts, having a better season than he did last year. So, which again, wild to think about. But
I've got the numbers there. He's 5th for points in the NBA at 30.5 per game. He's 1st for rebounds. And he's 1st for assists.
Yep, averaging a triple-double.
So 13 rebounds, 10.8 assists. The bloke just looks like he's playing in slow motion and does things that no one else, perhaps in the history of the game, has been able to do. Yeah. Not from the center position. Yeah, it's early. It's early. I might get some MVP odds.
Yeah, pull that up.
Yeah, it's just the length of period that he's been able to do it now as well. Crazy. Who have we got next? Rockets 12-4, Spurs 12-5. Wemby's been out with they've called it a calf strain, I think.
Okay.
With the recent Achilles history in the NBA, I do wonder if there's a little bit of let's not risk this.
He's cast 4 foot long, so we're like, let's take it easy on that one.
And obviously, they're a different team without him.
Yep.
Let me get some player awards here. Going back, hey, still coin flip with SGA, which is crazy. $2.40 for SGA, $2.60
well ahead of
for Joker. It's a 3-horse race.
It is, yeah.
Which is crazy with Luka, and we should talk about the Lakers because they're in second. Luka leads the league for points per game, and with LeBron back now, the Lakers starting to get a bit of a roll on, and Luka just put
they've got a good 5 there. So
Luka just put the team on his back in the absence of LeBron. Austin Reeves
has been good.
Yeah, really good to his credit.
Harden's has been pretty good for them too. So, yeah. Suns, I think, is an interesting one after we thought that Booker's going to be in Suns prisons, Phoenix prison over there.
Well, remember at the start of the year, we're doing the odds and they were in the 501 category.
Yeah.
So it was them and some of the granted, some of the cellar dwellers like the Wizards, the Nets, the Pels preseason. And yeah, D-Book's been able to keep these guys afloat in the post-KD era.
They started a bit slow, but they've been 8-2 in their last 10. So, they're playing pretty good.
I might get some statistics and seeing if he's getting a bit of help.
Yeah,
Timberwolves,
speaking of help, Anthony Edwards is not getting much help over there, and they've been on a 3-game losing streak.
Yeah, he gets frustrated, doesn't he? He's obviously
all the talent, but
he's a at least top 10 player in the league, potentially even higher.
Another team that probably needs to add something, give him something.
Yeah, and in the post-Cat era as well, clearly the Knicks won that trade. So I do wonder, can they win with win the whole thing with their current roster? Yeah, probably not. They probably need one more piece. Having said that, they're still pretty good. Phoenix Suns stats.
We do that. Warriors are in 8th. Dad's Army. They're still playing.
Dylan Brooks. It's Dylan Brooks who's been good over at the Suns.
There you go.
So averaging 22 points a game involved in that KD trade. They've actually got 7 players averaging double digits. Grayson Allen been good. Colin Gillespie, their other
Green's only played 2 games.
White guard. Yeah. Big caveat there. Jalen Green's in that only on 2 games. Colin Gillespie's been good. They're
just playing solid basketball.
Keeping their head above water, that's for sure. It's always hard in the West, I think. The mid section in the West usually a bit deeper, and you got to really play your 82 games. I think in the West, but they're there at the moment. Warriors 500. Steph done Steph things a few times since the last pod,
but they're highly dependent on him now.
Yeah, massively.
Team, so
Blazers have probably played a little bit overs. They're currently sit 9th. Grizzlies in 10th. Jazz starting to slide a little bit. As expected, they got out of the gates pretty well, but starting to slide a little bit. Clippers.
Literally Dad's Army.
Yeah, they're so old, man.
Well, I think I put the note in there. I think Chris Paul again has said he's going to retire after the end of the season, but I think he said that. I think he said that the last 2 years as well. But the report from Seamus during the week is that this is his last year. He's going to retire, but. So I think the same thing's been asked about LeBron too, whether this is going to be his last year or not.
It's the first time we've seen a really wounded LeBron, I think.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to say he's a role player, but it's not his team anymore.
Yeah,
he's going to be clear.
And 100% it is Luka's team now. The Bradley Beal injury, I don't know if we spoke about it. It was about 2 weeks ago. Broke his hip.
Yeah.
Just talking about old man injuries. So
he's probably not that old for your regular hip breaking.
So it's a strange injury.
It's definitely a strange
injury.
Did he land on it really hard or something?
Actually, not even sure. Yeah, I remember seeing that pop up and thinking that's strange, and then didn't really chase it up too much. But they've also been missing Derek Jones with an MCL, and
he's been playing minutes with them.
Yeah, good question.
It's hard in that big game.
He's got 50 odd and hit 9 or 10 3-pointers, I think, last weekend. But his supporting crew, let's have a look. Zubac has been playing, I'm pretty sure.
Kawhi.
And Kawhi, I don't think he's played at all. Let's have a little look. Yeah, Kawhi's only played 7. But regularly, Harden's playing, Zubac is playing, John Collins, Derek Jones, who just got injured, Chris Dunn's been playing. I forgot Brook Lopez is there. They're so old, man. Harden's still good.
Yep.
It's just, again, is he going to have this?
So, they've got a lot of name value and some
him?
talent there, but it's not young talent anymore.
They're not aligned through him just yet, but they won't want to keep losing, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, I think, and same, I guess the Mavs, same record, same with the Kings. I think both those teams are looking for trades. I think AD's on the block. And the Kings are looking to trade any and everyone, I thought was the report. So
the AD stuff's been weird. It's Achilles tendinopathy is my understanding of it. And still day to day.
Well, I think we missed it in the pod. They sacked their GM. The Mavs,
yeah.
Nicole, whatever his last name is. So
I wonder why.
One shit.
Did he make an interesting decision last year that rocked the NBA world?
Fucked him. Anyway. Yeah, and Cooper Flag probably hasn't played up to the level they're expecting. But
early.
I think they're like, we're getting a like-for-like Luka replacement. And I'm like, well, Luka's been in the league for however long. So, expecting a lot out of a rook. But having said that, probably no lines through those guys yet. Pell's probably the only team.
I think Pell's is the only team that I can't actually see a world in which they're in the playoffs.
And Zion's hurt, isn't he? So
I could see the Clippers certainly being there. I could see the Mavs certainly being there. I've got big question marks around the Jazz and Kings.
Those guys are 2 games behind 10. So they still have a chance until early season, like I said, for them. It's just, the Pell's not so much.
Cooper Flag is leading them for minutes at the moment. He's only putting up 16 points a game, but still nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah, but that's second on the team.
Yeah, behind AD, who has only played a third of the season.
Yeah, so they're not scoring a lot of points.
No, big question marks over in Dallas, that's for sure. And look, give him time; he'll be a superstar.
I agree.
It's just maybe not.
Don't give up on him too early.
No, it's just maybe not being straight out of the gate.
You're not getting Luka day one.
Correct.
Shouldn't expect that.
The NBA Cup has also been running, and
where we at?
I don't know. I think the first iterations of it, I was like, this is kind of cool. Like,
it's a cool call.
They're trying to get some intrigue, like cup games in soccer. It's not the Champions League.
It doesn't matter. It's a participation medal.
That's right. The courts do my head.
It's not a different league, like a different season. It's in season. Participation.
And the courts do my head in. Like I'm watching it, I'm about to have an epileptic fit from the.
Some of them have been bad
from the colours, and I'm like, oh.
Who's the one that had the bright green, like lime green,
Minnesota?
And it was like reflecting off the ground onto the players, so all the players look like they're glowing green.
Dude, it's too much for me. I'm the old man shaking fist at cloud, and I don't care.
And they wonder why the viewership is so low.
I can't see what's happening. I don't know what's going on, man. I think my vision's pretty good normally, but I don't know.
Yeah.
The courts are a bit on the nose sometimes. Sometimes they look really good.
Yeah.
It's just a bit different. It's not too much, and it's fun. And sometimes it's just like I can't see the ball. I don't know. I can't tell the difference between the court and jerseys here. I'm not sure what's going on. Back to the Raptors in the East. They're the only team in the East that's officially qualified for playoffs. Magic are undefeated, and if
so we're in the knockout stage now. Yeah,
not quite. So they all have to play their 4th game. So
okay.
Yeah.
So those two are qualified for the knockout stage, right?
Yes, that's
I'm
right.
Following.
So the only official qualified are Raptors in the East and Lakers in the West. OKC are pretty much all but qualified in the West.
Yep.
And then there's a few teams that are looking pretty good. So Magic, Heat, Cavs, Nuggets, Suns are all sort of looking like it. But I thought it was fun the first couple of years. I haven't really been paying a whole lot of attention to NBA Cup specifically, over just keeping an eye on the NBA in general.
Yep.
But watch your space. Christmas not too far away. That's certainly, I think, when my ears prick up regarding the NBA. Certainly some teams that are looking like juggernauts. The Thunder definitely going to be the team to beat.
Yeah.
But Nuggets
West is looking strong as
Nuggets,
expected.
Lakers in the West, and some surprises in the East so far with the Pistons and Raptors up the top.
Yep.
All right, let's change round balls. Let's go over to Europe. Probably the biggest talking point in the EPL at the moment is the demise of Liverpool. We were talking pre-show about, Oh, I reckon we had a show.
It was our fault, I think.
Late October. Put it on us. You can blame us, Reds fans.
Because I think they were 5-0 at that point.
Yeah,
and we literally said, when do we think they're going to lose? Are they going to have an undefeated season? They've won. I'm pretty sure I said that. So maybe blame me. And they've won one game since we did that.
That's right. They've beaten Aston Villa at home in the league, and they've been shocking in the Champions League, which we'll get to in a second. They started off the year 5-0. They'd beaten Arsenal. They've beaten crosstown rivals Everton. And then they dropped a couple games. Palace, Chelsea, United. You're like, oh, yeah, these are, serviceable EPL teams.
Yeah, you might drop a game here, but then Brentford.
Lost to Brentford. They got smacked at home by Not Forest. And I think the biggest alarm bells was today, losing 4-1 at home to PSV in the Champions League.
Yep.
There's no bad teams in the Champions League. I'll say that with a grain of salt.
Yep.
I don't think some of the lower end Champions League teams are like low end EPL teams.
Yep.
Okay, you probably shouldn't be getting belted like that at home.
At home, yes, agree.
Especially
Especially considering how much money you've spent on that team. So.
Crazy. $1 billion.
Yeah.
And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's weird. The games that they're losing, they always have more shots, more possession.
Yep.
So I don't know if they're just getting smashed on the counter or what's happening. But the
hungry.
last 3 games they've lost 10-1 is the aggregate. So they're not just losing, they're losing comprehensively. And there's got to be pressure mounting on Arne Slot, which is, crazy to say.
Yeah, so they've scored 18 and they've had conceded 20, so they're -2.
Yeah, it's issues defensively, certainly over the last month, and
sitting in 12th.
I don't know what they're going to do. I say pressure.
It's still early.
Yeah.
We're a third of the way through the season.
Yep.
So
Yep.
could still right the ship.
Definitely.
But it's,
But they're not going to win the league, I don't think. They're 11 points off. I don't think you can drop 6 games and win the league.
Having said that, they're only 3 wins behind.
Yeah, sure.
I guess.
I think that a realistic goal is Champions League for them now, which they're 3 points out of the 4. But I don't think you start 0-6 and win the league.
Yeah,
I don't care who you are.
yeah, yep.
All right, clip that up. Let's have a look at May.
Yeah,
but it's dire straits for Reds fans, and it goes to show, sometimes you spend all the money and it actually makes your team worse.
Well, I think that was my joke in the conspiracy was they're tanking this season so that none of the
accountants,
the bookkeepers, the accountants come look at them and say, oh, you've definitely taken the piss here and you need some sort of suspension or points. And they're going to go, oh, you guys suck, so it doesn't matter. And then they'll come back next year and then that's when they'll be good.
I also think that the mental health toll on the current playing group after losing teammate Diogo Silva.
True, it's actually
Diogo Jota,
basically right after that they haven't been good. So
so that all happened in the off season. You go from the high of winning the league to literally losing a mate and a teammate and a very handy footballer at that. I do wonder how much that plays into things as well.
Make a very valid point.
Yeah, mental health. It doesn't matter. If you're making 100 million. Euros, if you're dealing with grief and losing a mate, I don't know if that's playing into it. I don't know if it's just X's and O's,
scheme strategy.
Yeah, that's right. Getting smashed on the
Too
counter,
many chefs
on the
in
counter,
the kitchen,
and
etc.
a team that's prided themselves on defence over the last couple of seasons, just not being up to it.
I think at this stage they're just a paper team that hasn't really found their groove. So maybe they can find that groove over the next couple of months to the end of the season, but it doesn't seem likely in what we've seen.
No. So again, realistic goal setting. I think Champions League is probably going to be it. Can they gun for a top 4 spot? Yeah. And look, Arsenal will be licking their lips. I think because Liverpool and City have been the thorn in their sides over the last couple of seasons. Chelsea are looking pretty good. They're second. They won on the weekend against Burnley. Man City did drop a game on the weekend against Newcastle. It was absolute madness for about 5 minutes there, where Harvey Barnes scored a double in 5 minutes to get Newcastle the win, and it meant Erling Haaland stuck on 99 league goals. He's going to be the fastest to 100 league goals by a country mile.
Yeah, he's got 14 for the season, 5 clear of anyone else.
And we'll get to the internationals in a second, but pretty handy for Norway as well. I'm actually going to try and get that fastest to 100 EPL goals because I think he's going to smash it. Alan Shearer, so quite an old record.
That's most goal. He became the fastest 100
I think he
in
was,
124 games.
Yeah, 124 games. So Haaland is going to smash that. And
Harry
Kane is second.
Yeah, 141. Yeah, I think he's going to smash that out of the park.
Where's
How many EPL games has he played? This is his fourth season?
He's less than 100.
Yeah.
Let's go Erling Haaland here. I suppose, when you score 30 odd in one season, it probably does help.
Yes.
He's only 25. It feels like he's been doing it for ages. Excuse me, he's 109 games.
Yeah.
109 games, 99 goals. So
yeah, but he's 30 games ahead of where
he could go.
Yeah.
He could go play centre back and break the record.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not if, it's when. Mm-hmm. But yeah, just hasn't been able to do it last weekend. Is the only point I'm making there.
Yep.
Arsenal looking really good.
Yep.
Smacked Spurs on the weekend. Nothing more satisfying, I think, for Gunners fans than winning the North London derby against Tottenham, and won again today in the Champions League. So they're looking good across both formats, and do have a 6-point lead at the top of the league there. Let's look. We'll go EPL, and then we'll go Champions League, and then we'll look at some qualifiers. So yeah, Arsenal first, 29, Chelsea second, 23, City third, 22, and then gridlock. So this is all 3 points apart between Aston Villa in fourth and Liverpool in 12th. It goes Villa, Palace, Brighton, Sunderland, Bournemouth, Tottenham, United, Everton, Liverpool. Then a 2-point drop down to Brentford, Newcastle, Fulham, not Forest, West Ham, Leeds, Burnley, Wolves are getting relegated. Wolves the only line through it team, and then a bit of a gap there between Burnley, Leeds, West Ham, not Forest. Let's say between that sort of lower mid tier.
Yeah, they're all on 3 wins and within a point or two of each other.
Let me open up the Champions League because we saw a fair few goals this morning, and we obviously just spoke about Liverpool getting handedly beaten. Arsenal are the only undefeated team in the Champions League. So 5 games, 5 wins, 14-4-1 against. Could be looking at multiple trophies this year. PSG, Bayern, Inter, Real, Borussia, Dortmund make the top 6 there. You only have to finish in the top 24 to give yourselves a chance, but top 8 is a first round bye.
Yeah, true. But having followed Arsenal for far long enough, it was just like, how are they going to choke this away?
Yeah, the storyline over the last few years is, who's winning the league and who's coming third behind Arsenal. Do you know what I mean? That's perennial second. And you've certainly been in this position before.
Yes.
But I think there's something different about this Gunners team.
We'll see.
Let me get some internationals up. I shouted Curacao a beer at the top end of the show. We have had a whole.
I was going to ask you that if Italy had qualified, but I think the answer to that question I knew already was yes, they have.
Italy is no.
No, they haven't.
Italy is no.
I thought I saw that they had qualified.
Italy were the highest second in the group. So Erling Haaland fucked up Italy.
Yeah.
So I'll that's the Champions League. Let me get the UEFA qualifiers. Yeah, so there's 16 teams now that play knockout in Europe for 4 spots.
Yep.
Italy was the number 1 seed in that.
Okay.
Ireland had an awesome game last week where they scored. The bloke scored a hat trick, and it was literally the last play of the game. They got the ball at their half. The ref let it keep going. Long ball in, scored, broke Hungary's hearts. Hungary out, Ireland stay alive. Scenes there in Dublin. It was a home game. There was an awesome one between Scotland and Denmark as well, where Denmark were top of the group. They go to Scotland. Denmark just needs a draw. Scotland win at home. Scenes, drunk Scots, Willie. Damn Scots are doing Scotland. Scenes because Scotland have qualified. But I've brought it up here. So you win your group, you're in. So the teams that are in from Europe: Germany, Switzerland, Scotland, France, Spain. Spain in their group. They did draw their last game, which was a dead rubber against Turkey, but 21 goals for 2 against. Looking pretty good.
Yep.
Portugal. So should see Ronaldo
Yep.
again. Netherlands looking very good in their group. Austria in a tight group got through. Norway, the team of the qualifying, albeit outside of Italy.
Jeez, goals for 60.
A pretty weak group.
32, yeah.
So they had Israel, Estonia, Moldova. Yep. Okay. So Italy, the team to beat, and they beat them twice in that group. But yeah, 37-4-5 against plus 32 with the best striker in the world.
Yep.
So nice to see, the best players in the world playing at the World Cup. Egypt are in, so we'll see Salah, we'll see Haaland, guys that we didn't see last World Cup. That's going to be fun. Belgium win their group. England also very, very good in their group. Okay, 22 goals for 0 against. So the Poms back four looking red hot, and Croatia also in. We had mentioned Faroe Islands, I think, a couple of weeks ago. They stayed alive. Tiny little island nation north of the UK. Just missed out, unfortunately. They finished third in their group. But it means that there's 16 teams now playing for 4 spots.
Okay.
Nice. So Italy, Northern Ireland, Wales, Bosnia. They play each other knockout, and then winners play. It's essentially a semi-final and a final. So Italy's got to go through Northern Ireland, and then winner of Wales and Bosnia.
Okay.
The next one is Ukraine, Sweden, Poland, Albania. Part C,
Interesting group, that one.
Turkey, Romania, Slovakia, Kosovo. It would be the first time that Kosovo's ever made the World Cup if they're able to get out of that one. And then Denmark, had it up until
That's a tough looking group there.
North Macedonia, Czech Republic, Republic of Ireland, and it was the Macedonians that broke Italian hearts back in 2022. So yeah, interesting. We see a whole bunch of European teams come through, and rightfully so in a 48 team World Cup. But yeah, we've had I think is it 10 or 12? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 automatic qualifiers from winning their group. Probably the surprise packets there were Scotland and Norway looking incredible. And then there's 4 spots left for 16 teams to battle that out in March. Yep. That's Europe all taken care of. We spoke about Curacao before. I think it was them. Haiti are going to the World Cup. They've made one before. They come out of the CONCACAF, and I think it's Panama is the last team that came out of there with the big 3 North Americans all already qualified.
Yep.
And some big African teams missing out. Nigeria out, Cameroon out. It was DR Congo who have never made the World Cup who went through both of them, and there's interconfederational route with them, Iraq, a few other teams for one spot, I think. Starting to heat up the qualifiers, and we actually don't really know until the end of March those last 4 European teams. What are you feeling around 48-team World Cup? A lot of people are saying it's going to dilute the quality, and there might be a few sort of blowout games.
But there is also a fuckload of countries that play soccer, so
it's the world game.
Football,
You have to think the World Cup was 16 teams for a long time.
Yep.
And it's FIFA, money. Yeah. It kind of makes sense having more teams.
Yep. I think the World Cup, it's like having more teams, I don't think is an issue. The logistics of running a World Cup with more teams is going to be the challenge.
Yeah.
And see if they want to continue to grow going forward, whether they get to the 64. But I think it's fine. I think it's interesting.
It's also
it gives more opportunity because I think if it's again, if you go back to the numbers, if it's heavily dominated by Europe teams, then you don't grow the international game. Like it's a lot harder for, just use Australia as an example, us to play good quality games against good quality like European teams, for example.
Yeah.
Well, the good quality international teams that are in your top 20. This is the time you get it, and that's how you get that experience and growth, etc. And that's how you grow the game in those other countries, and it continues to be the world's game.
Speaking of Australia, we actually made it into pot 2 for the groups, which is going to be massive.
Yep.
So pot 1 has the 3 hosts. Okay, so Canada and Mexico may be a little bit lucky to be up there. The USA, I think, has been really good.
But look at who else is in that pot.
Spain, Argentina, France, England, Brazil, Portugal, Netherlands, Belgium, Germany. So they can't be drawn in the same group. Okay, so best case scenario, we get drawn with Canada, Mexico, America. We should get out of that group, maybe. Okay. Worst case scenario, we end up with France again, or something like that, and then a strong team from pot 3, and then the pot 4 teams are going to be all the ones that's like should these guys be at the World Cup kind of thing. So it's
Kiwi brothers.
Yeah, Kiwi brothers are in there along with the might of Curacao, Haiti, Cabo Verde, Ghana, who's we've seen at the World Cup before. But yeah, I think that pot 4 is going to be a lot of countries where people are looking at the world map and going.
Who do we have? Was it France, Australia,
and Denmark?
Denmark.
We've had Denmark a couple of times, and then we've had some North African. I think we had Tunisia 1 year, and Peru. I think is the last few years, but we've been in France's group the last 2 World Cups.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see who we draw. And, yeah, sneaking into that second pot is really, really important.
Yes.
World Cup is a little over 6 months away. We'll definitely prick our eyes back up, or our ears, I think is the correct terminology there, in March with those.
The qualifiers,
yeah, those last European qualifiers.
When's the actual World Cup?
It'll be American summer. So it's like June, July, I think.
June, July next year?
Yeah, you want me to get the actual dates? 2026 World Cup. It's also going to be interesting.
Yep, you're right, June, July.
Because they're playing a lot of NFL stadiums with turf, right? So they'll roll out the actual grass. And for us as NFL fans, it'll be like, hey, you could do this every week kind of thing. But anyways, watch this space. The World Cup kicks off June 11, finishes July 19, 48 teams, 16 host cities. That'll do us for some soccer. Let's do a final
round, wrap it up.
Sean, I'll intro it and I'll let you take the fight review. Unfortunately for Aussie fight fans, JDM, Jack Della Maddalena, unable to beat probably the best fighter in the world in Islam Makhachev. Makhachev coming up from lightweight and JDM being the incumbent belt holder at welterweight. What were your thoughts on this one, mate?
Yeah, well, I think Delhi just... Islam out wrestled him and controlled the fight. Yeah, he controlled the fight. I think he had 19 minutes of top control.
Crazy.
Crazy. I wonder, his initial first combo in that first round was a lot of quick and fast, and it looked good, and then looked slow and lethargic 10 seconds later. And I wonder if that initial calf kick did something. There hasn't been any reports, but
he looked sore. Yeah,
he definitely looked sore after the fight. He ate a lot of calf kicks, but. Yeah, whether that did something in his knee or something, I don't know. But he looked a shell post that and then just looked slow. But
usually you hear, right? Like if he broke his fibula or something like that, I feel like we would have heard.
By now, I would have thought so. And if he's going to have surgery, he's going to miss time. So hard to say. But, Islam did what he does and dominated every round and won it handily. Now, we could start a long conversation. How about, I don't think it's a fun style. To me, I don't find it as enjoyable to watch. But I can see how dominant he is. But, and he's dominant in that way he fights, and that's why he's the pound-for-pound best. But, I'd prefer to watch an Alex Pereira fight for, different reasons. Because I just find it more enjoyable, more fun. But, we'll see if Islam tries to take any other fun fights or different types of fights coming up with... at the welterweight division, or whether Ilya comes up another weight.
Too much, surely.
You would think so, but if that's the fight he really wants, he's got to come up again because by all accounts, Islam is not going down.
We'll have to probably start throwing Islam's name into the GOAT conversation now as well, which is crazy. In terms of 2 belt champions in the UFC, it's a relatively short list. Randy Couture, BJ Penn, Conor McGregor, GSP, Daniel Cormier, Nunes, Cejudo, Jones, Pereira, Topuria. Pretty elite company there that he's in. Holding 2 belts at the same time, and it's the question mark now is who can beat this guy.
Yep. Yeah. What if they want to do next? The way, like if Marab was 3 inches taller and could add 40 more pounds, then I think that would make an excellent head-to-head kind of fight. That's the type of fight you're after.
Big enough though, isn't it?
But there's no one with that kind of ilk of wrestling in those kind of divisions.
Maybe someone within the welterweight up and coming, because we saw 2 welterweight fights on this card. And Michael Morales, I think he's Ecuadorian. He looks like an absolute beast. He's undefeated and made pretty light work of Sean Brady,
Yeah.
who in himself is a good fighter.
Yeah, I wonder if Brady came into this hurt. The double knee wraps, everyone's just like, bet the house on Morales when he came out, and you're just like, what's he carrying into this fight? But that was pretty impressive. And then was it Carlos that won the other one?
Yeah, Prates beat Leon Edwards, so a big scalp, big scalp for him. Yeah,
and fly up up the rankings if you can find the welterweight there.
Did you see the meme? Carlos Prates, Leon had his back and was like doing like little face punches, and he was like rolling his eyes, kind of thing. Like zero damage taken there. It sort of turned itself into an internet meme. Pound for pound, it's Makachev from Topuria and Merab Dvalishvili. But let me scroll down to welterweight and I'll give you some names. Okay, so Makachev champ, JDM, Ian Gary's probably next up.
Yeah, and
Shavkat.
Suppose this week we had the UFC fight night where he beat Bilal Muhammad leading up to that. So they've tweaked those rankings there, and Shavkat has ACL maybe. He's coming back from an injury.
He's 19-0 as well.
He's not too far away, and he's a pretty interesting one in that division to go up there and go against Islam in this.
Yeah, Shavkat, his last fight was a win against Ian Gary back in December of last year. So, yeah.
He's injured. Due to injuries...
I'm just trying to find what the injury is. 4 stories.
Yeah, it doesn't say it on that.
I'm going to just search for...
But, yeah, there's some interesting fun fights of that. And, yeah, Ian Gary comes flying up those rankings now, and there's...
You were right, ACL and meniscus.
Yeah. Sure, not a good one.
No. But the record there speaks for himself, coming back. And I suppose in some, it's terrible to do your ACL, but in some regards, you're not getting bashed, for that period of time as well.
It's interesting that they moved both Morales, because Muhammad, I guess, came down really far, but they, Carlos and Morales both got moved after they've won.
Yeah. Well, it's pretty. Yeah, there's obviously a lot of.
No, they've shifted one down. It's because they've brought Gary up so high.
Yeah,
because he switched with Muhammad.
There's obviously a lot of names there for who's up next in the welterweight at least.
Yeah, definitely. Had been some talk about running Usman through him, but I think you got too far. Where's Usman ranked?
He's 8
at the moment. Yeah, coming off a win, but
I think there's too many guys ahead of him.
Yeah. I think he might slightly be past the title fight at this point.
How old is he? Let's have a look. His knees are cooked as well.
Yes.
He's 38.
Yes.
Yeah, I think the time's going to run out on him. Yep. I don't think he's next up. And
I wouldn't think so, but he's a big name, I think, is the main thing. Anyway. The rest, any other thing interesting on that was, the girls.
The girls.
Yeah, Bullet kind of cemented ourselves in that GOAT conversation. Mm-hmm. I think just size and was just too much for Whaley, and probably showed her technique being a step above, being a long time striker. And it's just like, with that size and power, it was just too much.
Went the distance, won every round.
Yeah.
Again, some people saying potentially a bit of a boring fight, but technically I think she was incredibly sound. And got to keep talking about her. Obviously Nunes is probably the first, when you're talking about female GOAT. But
it'd be interesting if
Shevchenko not far off.
Nunes and Harrison have that fight, and then whether Bullet wants next, the winner of that, to go back up again for another legacy type fight. It'd be interesting because there's probably nothing a lot left for her in that division.
Well, she actually named some because they asked her. They said, "Are you, going to retire?" And she said, "Well, I think Blanchfield, who was on the card, named her. I think she named Natalia Silva as potential matchups. Yeah, and then Kayla Harrison, obviously in different weight class, they could potentially." Someone come up or something.
It's a little bit more interesting for Wei Li because she's going to go back down and probably go straight into a title fight against Dern. So who's probably shitting herself and that because Wei Li kind of still showed that, got our class with Bullet, but she's no slouch.
Dern looks so thick though. She's short, obviously.
Yes.
Yeah, but she looks strong.
Yeah. So I think that they'll probably put that fight together in the not too distant future for that one.
Yeah, are you happy with previous comment? Nunes 1, Shevchenko 2 in female all time?
Probably for the sole fact that she lost twice to Nunes.
Yeah.
maybe should have won the first fight, but yeah, definitely lost the second one on the decision.
In terms of title defenses, I think there's a 9th time she's defended a title.
Sounds about right.
I think 6 in one go and 3 in the other.
Yep.
I feel like I had some notes there, but they've disappeared. Anyways, I feel like that's about right.
It sounds about right.
Yeah,
so.
let's go with it.
Yeah, but one of the longest running. I think, actually, you probably should see who actually won that belt. I think it's like 3 girls that have ever held that belt. So
yeah, there's probably not heaps. What do we want here? History of women's flyweight belt. The only other fight off the main card was BSD Benoit Saint Denis smacking Benil Dariush in the first 15 seconds or something in what was a catch weight.
Yep. Yeah. And then the thing that is also missing out there, I put in there that Dan Hooker did lose his fight to, I forgot now. Who did he fight? Arman in the lightweight division.
Sarukian.
Yeah. So lost on submission in the second. Yep. So that puts him basically straight into the lightweight title contention talk, and whether he'll get it earlier or not.
Nico Montano, that's a name that's escaped me. Shevchenko, Grasso.
I wonder if you.
There's not many.
That. Yeah, then she won it, and then she only lost it to Grasso. So, yeah, it's just basically been her.
Is there boxing upcoming?
Well, they've announced the Paul versus Anthony Joshua at heavyweight, which is wild considering he was going to fight Tank, who's like 180, let's say, pounds at most.
Is this him biting off more than he can chew? Like, to me, like this
probably after what Joshua did to Francis Ngannou, but Joshua just lost to Dylan Dupas. So, he's probably looking for a get right fight, and he's 3 inches taller and 40 pounds heavier than Paul. Paul, I saw a quote from Hawani. He was saying that Paul told him he was going to motorboat Joshua because he was so much taller than him. And if you look at the face-off, you see him staring at his chest, thinking about it, and in the end he doesn't. But it's a huge step up. Like, yes, Paul fought at heavyweight against Mike Tyson. Yes, he probably could be a big, swollen 240. But that size and reach he's not going to grow 5 inches taller in the next month. So
that Tyson Paul fight was also one of the most overhyped waste of time fights I think I've ever seen in my life.
So I guess full credit for him going up to, and everyone's like, finally we might see Jake Paul get knocked out, his head taken off. But he's been fighting boxing for the last 5+ years.
Yeah.
He's fought a whole bunch of guys. He's getting better fight on fight. So, he's getting a legitimate ranking.
Yeah, you have to give him like he's a legitimate boxer.
Yeah, exactly. This is all he's been doing. Yeah. So, yeah. And he's an interesting character. So.
That's actually not too far away.
He's ranked 14 in cruiserweight. Yeah. It's
December 19.
Because they had that Tank fight all lined up, and that was going to happen, and then he got done for a whole bunch of domestic abuse related stuff. So they didn't want to run him through Netflix. So they've gone with another angle, and I bet you Joshua is getting 9 figures. What's the point? Yeah, the reported purse is 184 mil. Yeah, he's going to get $90+ million out of this.
Crazy.
So, yeah, you wouldn't say no to that.
No, I don't think you would. Interesting 8 3-minute rounds, not 12.
Not 12? Yeah, 12 is more. I guess it depends. They usually do 8, 10, and 12. Championships
and it's still
12.
technically an exhibition fight, isn't it?
No, it's a legit pro fight. It'll count against their rankings.
Okay.
So that way they don't have to wear headpieces and things like that. So,
okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's...
I'm looking at Joshua's record. 28-4, 25 by KO against legitimate...
Yeah, in the heavyweight division.
Heavyweight.
He's fought the who's who, so...
I wonder if there's a little agreement here about try not to kill him.
You didn't have that agreement with Francis, so...
No.
Yeah.
Also, you just reminded me, we had spoken about it a little bit in the group chat, but Dana White on Andrew Schultz's Flagrant podcast actually coming out and saying him and Dana and Francis actually had some pretty legitimate beef because there was some allegations of some hands put on Dana and Dana's didn't take well to that, and he's essentially was saying Francis is a bad man and didn't have many nice things to say about him.
Yeah, true. But you don't get to be at the top of the heavyweight by being nice.
That is true.
And
you also probably don't want to put your hands on the boss.
No.
In any setting.
Especially when you're trying to get paid more. I think was where the whole angle for him was like, hey, I'm being underpaid and underappreciated, which is probably true as well. But But having said that, he's joined PFL and hasn't fought for them yet.
Yeah.
So I think they're getting a bit annoyed with him. Considering, I guess he got a bag fighting Joshua himself, so he's probably now happy and content. I don't think he's getting any younger either. So, yeah,
interesting. Watch that space. It's less than 3 weeks away until the Paul Joshua fight, and not really sure what's going on with Francis Ngannou at present.
Quick one.
Bastian Vettel.
Vegas was last week. We've got Qatar this week. Sean, run us through the F1 and
we'll do it.
Please tell me that Max Verstappen is not going to win this thing again.
Well, I can't. That's the issue. He won Las Vegas, and then the McLaren boys, who are sitting 1 and 2 in the standings, both got disqualified for plank wear, running their cars significantly too low.
Can you run that through in layman's terms for me?
Well, essentially they have what they call a plank. It looks like a giant piece of wood. That's not the material. Runs the length of the car as essentially the structure and the support of the car. So in past, they've had flex in that and be able to do bits and pieces with it. So if you wear it down too much, it adds the flex. So it's meant to be rigid. So the more flex you could say you can have in it means potentially different aerodynamics, which might be beneficial to you.
And how thick are these things normally? Because it was only a few mil, wasn't it?
I can't remember what the overall thickness is, like whether it's meant to be 20 mil, but the wear, or I think it's maybe 10 mil, but the wear you're only allowed is like a mil or something. Okay. So it's not a much, but I guess in that material, that sort of wear adds up to being enough to potentially being an advantage. There was the whole story about adding the titanium bits to either end of it, because essentially they were wearing through the plank to the titanium, and then the titanium wouldn't wear as much, so it was copying the load. So that came out in the week leading up to this race, that teams had been caught with these extra things that they probably shouldn't have been doing. It's not a lot, but
the two skids were illegal, one at the front by 0.12 millimeters and the one at the rear by 0.07 millimeters.
Yep.
Crazy. That's in Norris's car.
So, lower than the 9 mil permitted minimum thickness is meant to have. So, I think they have minimum thickness, and then you can probably go up to as much as you want.
Sure.
Probably, there's probably a limit. And then the team's going to kind of work in that technical to kind of figure out how stiff they want their car to be. So, they both get disqualified out of this from a random spot check, supposedly. But I think they were probably checked for the fact the amount of sparks that were thrown out through the entire race. Definitely early on you were thinking, oh, this is interesting. Some controversy about trying to manage the wear and things later in the race. That's why Max won by 20 plus seconds. But either way, both get disqualified. 390 is what Lando is stranded on. Max comes up to 366, equal what Oscar is, with 2 races to go. I don't think there's any sprint races left, so I think it's just the 2 races. So the equation's easy. For Lando, he's got to finish 2 points ahead of both of these guys in this race to win, because 25 points, second gets 17. So if he wins,
he's home. Yeah,
he's home. Yeah. So if he doesn't win and where the other 2 finish, as long as they're 2 points less than he does. So I guess as long as he finishes ahead of them and they are lower in positions, he would win again. But it's going to be tough. If Max wins, that'll take it to the last race, essentially. And he would have to win, and then Lando would have to be lower. And same theory for Oscar. He'd have to win, and Lando would have to finish lower to even it up. What would be interesting, if Lando doesn't finish and say Max or Oscar wins, they'll get the 25 bump, and there'll be 1 point difference going into the last race. So it'll be very tight at the top if that happens to Lando. So for Lando, he wants to finish and get a good point scoring. But another disqualification or a DNF will mean that if one of the other 2 win, that he'll be behind by a single point, and it'll be a very, very interesting Abu Dhabi race.
So craziest thing that could happen in Qatar would be Lando DNFs or gets disqualified.
Yeah, Lando scoring again, no points.
One of the other 2 wins, and one of the other 2 comes second.
Yep. Yeah, make it a very, very tight race at the end there for Abu Dhabi, which will be pretty fun. So that's based on where we are at F1, you know, as the Oscar fan here, I'd love to see Lando struggle and Oscar do well.
Yep.
But Oscar's kind of been on a big slide since the summer break, unfortunately.
Hasn't won since the Netherlands.
Yeah, and hasn't got a podium since then either. So
Technically had one in Italy.
One in Italy, but he hasn't.
But you're right.
In the last 6, he's had none. So yeah, it's been a tough old slide for him. Whereas Max has been pretty dominant, and then throw Lando in there as well.
Qatar, time zone wise, will that be late Sunday night for us?
3 o'clock in the morning on Monday. So yeah, it'll be early. And then Abu Dhabi's at midnight for us. So yeah, pretty interesting. And the final note there was Adrian Newey. He's been announced as Aston Martin's team principal for 2026, which means old maid Kristen Horner won't be team principal.
Big sacking there.
Yeah. So.
All righty.
That's the news. We went a bit longer than we thought, but
yeah, that's all right. That will do us. Always, I think we'd like to talk. Obviously,
we spent an hour on the NFL and 50 minutes on the cricket.
Yeah, I was going to say the cricket for a 2-day test match. There was a lot to talk about, wasn't it? God forbid the one goes for 5 days.
Yes, true.
Thank you to anyone that stuck it out for the whole time. If you are finding us for the first time on YouTube, please hit subscribe. And if you're following along on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, we generally will release one every couple of weeks ish. Certainly, that's the plan over the next.
We'll see. We might have one episode
month or so, yeah. And then the studio's going to have to move, so we're unsure in early 2026 what the plans are going to be. There may have to be a short hiatus, but we'll keep you posted in the next episode or two what the plan is there.
Yes, sir.
This is on the Esky Aussie Sports Podcast. Like our Aussie sport, we like our US and international sport. We'll catch you in a couple of weeks' time. Let's go the Aussies in the cricket. Let's hopefully we're talking about 2-zip Australia. All right. Until then, catch ya.
Bye.